know?
Yeah. No. Well, Saxon. When Saxon was here, we called him Young Sax.
Young Sax.
So we haven't gave Matt a nickname yet. We need to figure one out. But it's kind of harder to look shit up on the fly. It's way harder than it seems. Like whenever.
Oh no, you'll just go quiet, and then you'll fucking forget what you're looking up. Yeah, it does.
Yeah, the way Rogan does, it's like Jamie's already looking up. He's just waiting for keywords to come out of their mouths, and he's just always
the
looking.
whole time he's typing shit up, waiting for them to go, "Hey, look," and he's like, "I already got it."
It's fucking. That's why he's the best.
I love it how Joe's been like getting aggravated with them lately, dude. It cracks me up. He's like, "You fucking use DuckDuckGo, motherfucker."
Yeah, it's been since he's been here in Texas? Have you thought that maybe we'll get a Jesse James on this podcast or anybody else besides Richard Rawling in the motorcycle world?
Absolutely.
You think it'll happen?
I think it was going to happen whether he was here or in California.
For real?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, there was pretty sure I saw a picture with him and Jesse James and Alex Jones, dude. Well, wouldn't that be a combo?
Yeah, it'd be a wild one. But I guess the Undertaker came into town to hang out with Jesse with some gun shit, and then they all went to do the comedy show with with Rogan and who else was there? I think Dave Chappelle was there too at the same time. So it's kind of weird that it's all taking place just right down the street now. Like all these fucking podcasters that I've like started watching from Rogan's podcast are like all building studios down the fucking street now. It's just weird. It's dope, but it's fucking weird. You know what I mean? It felt like we used to be so removed from the hub of all the podcastdom. We got Adam Curry down there too, so it's fucking wild to me now.
Adam Curry, he's like the pod father.
Yep, the OG.
The fucking pod father. Oh shit,
man, how you been, dude?
Oh, I just been fucking running around like a chicken with my head cut off.
Well, you do it the best, straight up.
I don't know about that, but I'm doing it.
Hands down, dude. I go on a bike trip and then I come home and get overwhelmed, and my wife's in my ear, and I just like. I can't do it. I'm fucking, I just get weird. Like I wear it on my sleeves, and I feel like you do. And when I wear it on my sleeves, then I get drunk and I talk shit on Facebook and Instagram. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I've had a hard time this last couple of months, but
really, just the last couple of months has been stacking up, or what?
Yeah, man. 2020 was such a fun year. Riding motorcycles, it felt like
fuck yeah, it was.
It felt like I can't even explain what it was like. It was just like real freedom. You know what I mean? Half the cities they were barely working, but we got the fucking
felt like real outlaws.
Yeah. Like we're not supposed to be here, like some Snake Plissken shit.
Oh,
you know
dude, that was the best Sturgis I've ever been to.
I agree.
Everybody that was there was like the kinds of people that were like, even if this is the worst fucking virus ever, we're gonna die on our motorcycles at Sturgis.
We were the super spreaders, remember?
Oh, fuck it. It was the biggest party in the world, dude, and it felt that way. Yeah. It was awesome.
It did feel good to have that, but I got to experience the block party that year, too. For the first time, and that was my first New York experience, and that was pretty dope to be able to ride through the city as if we were riding through downtown Dallas. It was hardly anybody on the streets or on the cars.
That's wild.
I thought it was dope. But, yeah, 2021 turned into like this – still had that little vibe, but then everything was getting back together. But then on the industry side, shortages on everything. Paint, helmet stuff, everything that I do for a living, like there was a shortage. I couldn't get a hold of it. And I'm just sitting here twirling my thumbs, like trying to work. And then now everything's here, and I'm fucking backed up and kind of overwhelmed. You know what I'm saying? And then trying to do podcasts still and paint fucking a million goddamn helmets and bikes that were being on. It's
stacking up.
It's fucking.
I know. I got my first shortage last week.
What was it?
So the T-shirt company sends a T-shirt out every month, and I hit them up like at the very beginning of the pandemic, and I was just like, "Where the fuck is our shit coming from? Like, I need to know where it's being made, how it's getting here, like the whole line." And it's all close to home. It's not American made, but it's just right south of the border.
Okay, yeah. So it's not coming from.
It's on the continent. That's what I wanted. I was like, I needed this shit to be on the rock.
Yeah.
So I got all that shit squared away. There was a couple times they're like, hey, I don't know if we can get this many black. And I'm like, well, the beauty of my company is these motherfuckers don't know what they're getting anyways. Like, if I have to send out some gray shirts along with some black ones, like everybody's going to be stoked. Like it's more than just the T-shirt,
Exactly, yeah.
Last week, the postcards hadn't made it to the T-shirt printing shop. Now my T-shirt shop prints, packages, and ships them all out.
Yeah.
So they're like waiting on the postcards.
Okay.
And I called the postcard company. They're like, dude, we can't find postcards. And they're like, do you care what material it's printed? I'm like, print it on some fucking paper and send it to them, you know? Like
notebook paper, motherfucker.
Yeah, that's the only experience I have. But yes, I've heard about it fucking in every facet of everything.
Yeah, and I mean, I just went to New York with my son, and so I had to get don't put the camera on me, a vaccine card.
Yeah, perfect.
And just so that I can go in there and eat. And
how did you get it? Did you find somebody to squirt it in the trash, or did you have to like, is it just like a...
There's people.
Yeah.
You know, there's plenty of people. You just, you remember back in the day we used to have to get insurance cards? It wasn't
Yeah. My wife was so concerned with this, and I was like, babe.
Yeah.
Where people want shit, other people supply shit.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter whether it's like...
They got tiers is how you can get it, too. So if you just need like a run-of-the-mill, just quick show, like no one's going to really dive into it, they're like $50. But if you want one like that's on the computer and all your shit's good, it's like $250 to $350.
Well, see, about 6 months ago, I wasn't even worried about getting a shot.
Yeah.
Like literally I didn't fucking care. I was more concerned with like having to get one, you know, like to be in America.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck, you know, like I'll take a shot to go travel some remote country because you've always had to do shit. Not everybody's as free as America. And then like at some point, just the shit that I'd see him pushing when there's like this other shit out there, I'm like, there's something else going on. Now I don't even trust what's in there. Like, maybe it's not just money. You know, like I've stuck some bad shit in my body, you know, like I'm not worried about what's in this shot. And then all of a sudden at one point I'm like, maybe I am, dude.
Yeah. I seriously considered getting one just because I didn't want to ruin this trip with my son in New York.
Yeah.
But then I was like, all right, well, can I? And I was like, I got to have both shots. And this was like January 1st, and we're leaving on the 17th or 28th or something like that. There's no way you can do 2 of the shots and all that shit in the time to go. So I was like, fuck it. I couldn't do shit in D.C. Couldn't get into anything.
I haven't even been tested yet.
I haven't been tested, but I know I've had it.
Yeah.
I think I had it in January.
I think I brought it back, dude. I think you're talking to patient 0, dude.
When you went to the fucking
I mean,
Himalayas.
I came back I was at the closest international airport to Wuhan in November of 19.
Yep.
And then came straight here and started coughing on everybody, dude.
It was so weird. People were like, yeah, I think I had it in 16. You know, shit like that. I'm like, get the fuck out of here, man. But no, 19 was like a great year. And then everything was turning into 2020 being the fucking best. And when the shit started, it was kind of like a hit in the stomach, kind of like I was ready to go, but I didn't know, you know, because remember, people were saying like the borders are closed to states. And the more I thought about it, like, there's no fucking way you can block every road across the border.
At Daytona, everybody was like going to leave early because they didn't want to get stuck in Florida.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, dude, if you get stuck in Florida, like there's worse places to be stuck, exactly. You know?
So, yeah, there was like all this kind of like misinformation going on online where people were scared to go anywhere because they didn't know if they can get out of the you know, the state, or if they go and they're traveling on the bike, are they going to be able to get a hotel in certain places? And I was like, man, there's no way that. Yeah, our economy got hit, but if they would have made it that way, shit would have been fucking done everywhere. All these little towns you ride through on the open road that rely on that fucking truck stop right there, and the hotels and the other shit, like you shut all that down, like those places go away 100%. You know what I mean?
None of them went away.
None of them.
I mean, I know some people did lose their businesses, but this I mean, I didn't notice it along my travels very much.
I didn't either. I think the only places that got New Mexico was probably the only place that was kind of annoying. And
it was very annoying, and I spent a lot of time there. Luckily, I live in like this little like Texas pocket.
Yeah, out there in Red River.
Yeah, it's like they're shunned on. Taos just hates Red River. They're just like constantly talking shit in their newspaper about how Red River's bringing in all the fucking super spreaders to town.
Shit. You're like, you remember that show that had like the people on the mountain, and they would come down to the town on 4-wheelers and steal all the shit and take it back up there? Had like Opie on it.
Yeah.
What was it? The Outsiders or some shit?
Outsiders, I think.
Yeah,
they had
that's y'all. Red River
that, like,
go into fucking Taos and like take their resources and
then
go
steal
back.
their women.
Yeah. Okay. How'd you do that?
Oh, dude,
with the swag?
I spent some months up there, but dude, I went to Mexico in 2020.
Yeah.
Me and Kickstart Mike went down to Copper Canyon. It was so fucking sick.
How is it? Like I want to go to Mexico bad, but I'm scared. Straight up. Like I don't. I'm
I
scared
know you're
to
also
know
scared
anything.
of like bears and alligators or something, right?
I'm better with the bear thing now, but I've definitely. We stayed in Yellowstone, and I was literally up all night. Every time the fucking wind hit the tent, I'm like, you know what I mean? It's weird, but I'm getting over that. But crossing into Mexico, do you ever do it in Texas, or do you always going to like Tijuana or type shit like that, or what?
No, I crossed in Texas, and Arizona, and California.
Do you think how do you word it? They don't really fuck with you at all. Like you don't feel any kind of like.
Who?
I know that you just whoever is there.
The Mexicans.
Yeah.
No, I mean, you know, there's shit going on in the border.
Sure.
You know, like South Texas, Mexico, like there's shit going on. I'm not gonna say it's like perfectly safe. Me and Charlie had this debate earlier. He's like, it's perfectly fine. I'm like, it's not perfectly fine. But
if you're like kind of presenting yourself in a way like he don't have shit on him, you know what I mean?
How do you do that?
I don't know. Like,
I'll tell you, when I went down with the group of guys last year, the only guy that got fucked with was on an MA with an FXR fairing and was wearing a white T-shirt and an Espinosa vest. And they fucked with him at every stop.
That's what I felt like. See, that's why I'm wondering if I'm going to have to change my wardrobe.
Big me, Scott. He fucking bought this white shirt, and then all the next thing you know, he's like in the parking lot, stepping on it in the dirt, rubbing it in the ground, trying to dirty it up. They didn't even believe that he was with us at the border.
For real?
Yeah.
Like they thought you were trying to smuggle him across?
And then every stop, he would get hassled more. But I honestly don't think it was because of the way he looked. I think it was his attitude.
Oh.
You know, like, not that he had an attitude. I just think he was expecting to get fucked with, and he did.
It's kind of like when you scared of the dog, and the dog can sense it.
To some degree, yeah. I think that's exactly what it was.
These twist off or pop offs?
They've never been twist off.
Okay. Well, isn't there
a bottle opener?
I thought there was one behind you on the little snap-on one.
I mean, with all the other shit you got in here, you're telling me you ain't got a fucking bottle opener?
There's one here somewhere, dude.
You use this table right here on the edge.
Thank you.
But Mexico is sick.
I didn't know they need.
But no, I don't. I mean, the border is definitely something to approach with caution.
Yeah.
I always try and just get past it, you know, once we get in there.
You're kind of like the test dummy for me, in a sense. I'm waiting on you.
You just fucking call me a dummy?
Well, no, you're... That's not the point. The point is, like, I know at some point in time, I've got a lot of inspiration from your podcast over the years, just with, like, the different people you've had on, and how you have taken this information that you've got from everybody and kind of applied it to your life in your own way, right? Made it kind of yours.
Yeah.
And so I'm waiting on you to do this South America run so I can, get some pointers from you directly, because I kind of trust your opinion, because I'm closer to you in a sense than I am to a dude on an adventure bike that, might kind of have a different vibe and attitude. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Like, I know you're going to find the cost-effective way, the, fun way, that type of shit, if you will. And so
I'm actually working on something, an idea I've had in mind for a while. Mm-hmm. And it's in the planning stages, but it's going to involve a lot more of that kind of travel.
Yeah.
I don't even know how much to say right now.
So where are you going to try to make it happen to?
Oh, the whole world.
Okay.
Let's see. So what was it? In 19, yeah. When I came back with the
Wuhan flu,
the China virus, after being in China. So
demonetized, right?
Motorcycle Sherpa Bear hit me up. He's got this tour company in Nepal.
Yeah.
Now, I've been approached and looked at other tour companies and going places and doing trips and it never, I don't know, traveling with people I didn't know in places where everything was planned out. Like it just kind of seemed like, I don't know, like it just wasn't the way I want to do it, right? You know, like I'd rather go over there and not know anything and break down every fucking 20 minutes and not kind of be see much. I don't know, just like experience the trips that way.
Yeah.
And there was a bunch of rad people on this trip he had going, and so I signed up. And I go. It was my first like guided tour, if you will, on motorcycles. And it was in Nepal, and it was fucking amazing. It literally has changed the entire way I travel.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you've noticed, but since then, almost all my trips I've done with people.
Yeah, because you were always the guy that was trying to leave people that rode with you.
I wasn't even trying to leave him. I just was like, I wasn't trying to wait up on him.
I heard stories.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, yeah. Oh, you've heard stories. You talking about our friend from New Jersey or New York?
Yeah.
I was trying to leave him. Actually, I wasn't even trying to leave him. I was just making sure he was following me so that he would leave the other people.
Oh, yeah, that's right. But yeah.
But no, I mean, since going to Nepal and experiencing, so like, okay, the trip. You go over there, you don't have to worry about food. You don't have to worry about where you stay. You don't have to worry about gas. You don't have to worry about none of that shit, which is part of the fun in traveling. It's like finding the food, figuring out where you're going to stay, you know, and like, but over there, all I did was like, just check out all the wild shit with my eyes and like use my attention to do other things.
Yeah.
Instead of thinking about where we're going to stay or where we're going to eat. It was like I was able to take in the culture and like, you know, just really soak up everything. And, you know, it took us 24 hours on a plane to get there. You know, like to invest that amount of time and be over there for 2 weeks and get to see everything I saw, I couldn't do. Like we talked about the group that went going on a trip someplace else. Yeah. And we tried to put together renting bikes and we're really doing it on our own instead of like paying a tour company. And after putting it all together, like, we couldn't cover the ground, see the shit we saw without, like, it's just worth paying a tour company that knows how to get you to different places that you don't know you want to go.
Is it because of that? Because how much different is that versus, like, what is it, the BDR thing that you've been doing? What's that thing called?
Oh, yeah, the backcountry discovery routes.
Yeah. So is that's not necessarily tour guided, right?
No, not at all.
It's just kind of like.
But the amount of time and effort that they put into planning those routes, it's impressive. Yeah. Like the routes that they curate, especially finding stuff that's as dirt and backcountry as those are, like, if I had to pay for, I mean, I did pay for the maps. I mean, I think that they're underselling themselves, you know, like, but it would be hard to charge more than what they're charging for roads that are free to go on. Like, it's a little bit different, but it's the same idea, you know, like, it's worth it. So, ever since going on that trip with Motorcycle Sherpa, which I'm going back in November.
Okay.
And I think there's space left, dude, and it's going to be sick.
I do want to go.
Stairway to Heaven. It's pretty amazing, dude. Like, it's fucking really amazing.
Yeah, I definitely want to do something like that. It's been, you know, when the IMS would come to Dallas, they'd always have those companies, like hundreds of different ones there that would, you know, Europe, or some of them were here that you rent a bike and they'll take you through certain areas here, South America, all that stuff. But is this Bear's company? Like, it's his shit?
It's Bear and Booty, and Booty's on the ground over there. Booty's like from Manali. Dude, like fucking smokes weed and saves dogs and rides motorcycles. He is a fucking gem, dude.
When I saw the pictures that you did, and then of course Lictor was on the trip with you, right?
Yeah.
And all his stuff. I think they just posted something about a lot of his photos was using in an AMA thing or some shit.
Yeah, the AMA that just came out.
Man, I'm with you on it. I guess I'm so backed up with all my bullshit that I am actively, straight up, this is what my last month has been. I am in a great place with paint work in my life where I'm getting the most money I've ever got and the biggest opportunities. And then I have a podcast that's doing very well. And I need to either do more of this or more of this. Right?
Yeah, it's a tough one.
This right here, the paint, I know it. And I know that I do this, you give me that, we're good. The podcast is like, oh, he said the F word on the podcast, you know, fucking sponsors gone, 100 people leave Patreon, you know what I mean? And you're like, fuck, man, like
you should try some other words out.
I'm talking about the 3-letter F word. So,
the 3-letter F word. Oh man, you lost 100 patrons over saying fag.
No, it was an accumulative fag that they kept saying it over time. But no, it's like it's hard to trust it sometimes.
No, it is. I mean,
but it's like the more time, like, I guess maybe in a sense, if I had more time I could produce better content. I could do more. You know what I mean? With the podcast and all the other surrounding things that it has going on, like go experience these types of things like you're doing. That way I can come back on this podcast and have a more hands-on approach to a conversation about it. You know what I'm saying? Even talking with Chris Hopper last night, being able to do some of the shit he does, maybe not to the level that he does.
You just start fucking spelling Jace in different states.
Different states, yeah. The Hoka Hay sounds
life, dude.
Hoka Hay sounds fun though.
Yeah, did you grill him on that one?
I talked to him. I didn't really grill him too much. I just let him explain what it is to me a little bit, and I tried to ask him about it, and he didn't really dive into the whole history of it very well. But no, it sounds fucking interesting and fun, and you know, I guess I'm still getting used to riding across the country, and there's still so much I want to see that I haven't started looking at it as
there's
like
no need to be making it brutal on yourself. When you can enjoy it still.
So, I mean, I don't know, but I like that shit exists in that community there.
Absolutely.
That way, it, you know, but it's just cool, you know, I'm into it. But yeah, the Himalayas, all that shit, like when you did it the last time, man, it was pretty inspiring, man. I want to do it. I just never been out of the country. Don't even have a passport, you know.
I don't think I got a passport till right before I left. Yeah. No, I got a passport before I went to Mexico that year, right before I left.
Because wasn't the El Diablo run that year too, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it was last year, so yeah, 2020 it didn't happen. Yeah, I don't know, man.
Mexico's easy, dude.
Yeah.
But what I was getting at, so the next like business, I wouldn't even call it, yeah, I mean, it's a business, but it's just tacked on to Danger Dan Stock Shop, is I want to curate a bunch of tours. Mm-hmm. You know, like Motorcycle Sherpa, and everything they do in Nepal is going to be the first one.
Okay.
And it's going to be, I'm going to call them this DMT, Dangerous Motorcycle Tours.
Okay.
And find these tours all over the world. Mm-hmm. And then curate a place on my website where you can see the tours that I've been on. I'll have like a review, maybe a rating system that says this is more dangerous than this one. Or if you want to go over there and stay in nice places, this is the spot. If you want to go over there and sleep in a fucking hut, you know, go on this tour. And then curate a bunch of tours all over the world. Mm-hmm. South America, Central America, Asia. I got a guy right now over in Tbilisi, Georgia. You know, what Bear and Booty are doing in Nepal and Mongolia has really inspired that. And you know, I want to go see other places. And I think having a place where everybody can see my experiences and relate, like, you know, people have grown to know me more than I know them listening to the podcast. So I think that if the way I can explain what the tour brought to me and what it could bring to them, you know, like they'll learn a little bit more than having the company sell them on it.
So what do you think about that trip really was the key change in how you started approaching trips here in America?
It's just realizing how much funner it is to experience these things with other people.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You know, like...
But I'm at the opposite end of it now. I've been doing my trips with people forever, and I have found it to be very fun to go alone.
Well, it is. It absolutely is.
Not that I don't... I mean, when you see something fucking amazing, it's dope to be able to, like, fucking crazy, you know, like, experience that with somebody, you know, and trust me, this motherfucker was on that trip, and we had a lot of experiences with his bike that didn't work very well.
Yeah.
All the way to NorCal and back. But it was still dope, and we still talk about that almost fucking 5 years later now. You know, so whenever you go alone, I fucking love it because I'm on my time, and I turn down here if I want to, or I don't, or I stay, or I push to the next town, or I push to the next gas stop on my own time, and I've always felt like kind of I hate to use the word leader, but more of you're
almost a tour guide.
A tour, yeah, like being a tour guide for all my other friends that haven't hit this side of the country or done this run or ride or something like that. So, you know, I'm like hoping they're having fun. You know what I mean? A lot. Like I'm stressing out. Like I'm hosting a party and I'm hoping everybody's having a good time. You know, so.
Well, there is definitely, you know, that's definitely involved. You know, like when I did the Mexico trip, the Desperado run with Gary, Meese, and Al, and Nick.
Yeah.
You know, the way I kind of like, I guess I would say I managed expectations. You know, like I didn't tell them where we were going. I didn't tell them what we were going to see. I gave them a real vague outline, you know, and I'm like, hey, if you're going to go, you're just pretty much following me. You know, like trust that what we're doing is going to be fine. That was harder for some than it was for others, you know, but it worked out fucking well, you know. And everybody did have a good time because they weren't expecting anything. You know, I didn't say, hey, this is going to be awesome. I'm like, this could be shitty. You know, like we could go off a cliff. The cartel could roll us. The federales could roll us. We might not make it past the border without having to pay a bunch of bribes.
Yeah.
And that's all that stuff happened, you know? So it's like.
Nick was with you on that trip,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, I think Nick was here and he was talking about it too, about some town that y'all were in, and there was a bike shop there or some shit.
Yeah, Ruli. I talked to him today.
For real?
Yeah, Mazatlan, dude. And he's trying to get me to go to Bike Week down in Mazatlan,
Yeah,
which I hear
heard
is
about that.
amazing. But Ruli's got it's a bike shop in Mexico, dude.
Yeah.
He's got buckets to piss in, and that's what we ate oysters out of later that day. It was awesome. Ruli was the man.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for meeting Ruli, those guys would probably still be in jail down there. I mean, Nick had a knife on him like that fucking big, dude.
Yeah.
Just walking around the streets like nothing.
Definitely a red flag with that one. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, Pancho Villa and a fucking sword and a vest. And
Yeah, he looks like he's definitely like an enforcer for the cartel.
he looks like something. I don't know if that's what he looks like, but he looks like something.
Yeah.
Like he's down there.
Like
he's the muscle for somebody else buying drugs. You know, like, come with me, Nick.
Now, so have you enjoyed more of the peninsula, like the Baja Peninsula area riding that, or like the Mexico as a whole? Or like
I mean,
more the
they
main-
just both have different things to offer.
They do. Is the peninsula more kind of Americanized, if you will? A little more touristy?
Like third world America.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Southern
Detroit?
California.
Yeah.
It's kind of like San Diego. You been there?
Yeah.
It's like San Diego, but spread out.
Kept going
Yeah.
past the fence.
A lot more sand, dude. A lot of sand.
That's cool.
And it's fucking nice down there. Like the roads are nice. I mean, until they're not there. But I mean, they just like it's freshly paved down
Yeah.
there. You can get all the way to Cabo. Easy. And then there's a bunch of shit to eat, places to stay, and you can actually camp down there.
Just wherever.
Yeah, you're not camping on the mainland.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
there's not.
Where's Scooter Tramp Scotty always going down there when he's down there?
I think he's down like by Cancun. I think he goes all the way
All
to
the way
Yucatan.
down? Okay.
Yucatan.
Yucatan.
Where Beaner's at right now.
Oh yeah, I did see the pictures of him naked. I suppose.
Yeah. He's in Mexico. Got one of his fingers chopped off.
For what?
I think he had AIDS in it. I mean cancer.
Oh. Went there to get a good deal.
No, I think it just happened while he was there.
Damn.
Yeah, well, it's just something he's had, and I think it just got worse for whatever reason. And
Yeah, everybody keeps telling me to go down there because I've got all this dental work shit I'm going through right now. Dude, some people can pull that shit off. I can't.
dude, so Lichter, he did this thing for Dennis Kirk, right? He
Yeah.
wrote this like book.
I was
man.
going to bring that up. Yeah.
And I saw it the other day on Facebook, and it was like a Dennis Kirk sponsored ad, and there was like fucking 8.
It was a good article.
It was like 8 comments or something like
Yeah.
whatever it was, 12. And I click on them, and I can only see 2 of them.
The rest were
What the
hidden
fuck?
because they
Yeah.
were mean.
That's exactly where I finally found them. It was like, dude, thanks for reminding me not to do meth. I can't believe this guy hadn't seen a dentist yet. I was just dying laughing.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I was like, that's with skateboard teeth, dude.
Yeah.
Little bit of meth, but the skateboard's what did it.
Yeah, I've just always had bad fucking teeth. You know what I mean? And then I actually busted these out back in like 03, fucking around at a bowling alley with my friend. Like using a bowling ball like a medicine ball. You remember those in high school? And the motherfucker launched that shit at me, and my hands were not ready to catch it, but my mouth was.
Oh,
and
God.
And it broke both of them. Then I just had like a little feeling on it for the last damn near almost 20 years, and then it broke off. And then, it's just kind of gotten to the point where it's like, fuck,
That's what this is. This
Yeah.
is fake over here. Those are both fake.
Yeah.
And I fucking face planted, knocked out that thing.
Uh-huh.
I found it, dude, the other day in a jewelry box.
I still have mine too.
This
yeah.
tooth and that piece. And this is like I was gonna get an implant. The doc he screwed an implant in there and put that cap on. It was like my neighbor.
Yeah.
He was like, I don't put teeth on there. You got to get that tooth put on. So then I tried to get it in Mexico, and they were like, it's gonna take like 2 appointments. We got to do this and do that.
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah.
like, nah, I'm fucking out of here.
I started this process at the beginning of January, and it's just like fixing stuff that's not
Dude,
visible.
you should have just gone to Mexico for this
Everybody
shit.
kept
That would have been
saying
a
that.
great excuse to go.
I was just telling Matt today because when I went earlier, so they finally got a plan. It took like fucking a month to figure out a plan for my fucking mouth, and now they got one.
I want you to see mine.
Basically, yeah. I feel you know what really fucked me up? I've always been self-conscious about it, 100%, right? Even even when it was half-assed put together without like all the chipped parts, right? I remember in 9th grade, I remember some girl, and at this time, I guess I wasn't really concerned about if I was cute or some shit like that. I was just whatever. And some girl told me
pre-pubes.
I think it was already, I think I was already doing that. But I mean, because 9th grade, you're fingering chicks and all that kind of stuff at least, right? Yeah. But
you just didn't care what they thought about you.
I didn't. Well, it never was a thing. Like, I grew up, ever since 6th grade, I had, big front teeth, which then crowded the other shit, right? But my dad went to jail when I was in 10th grade, and my mom was doing drugs all over town. So,
teeth are the least of your concerns.
What the fuck am I going to do to the dentist? Go to the dentist and give him my fucking report card? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So this chick fucking tells me, she goes, you would be the most handsome guy in school if your teeth were straight. And from that moment on, I feel like I was self-conscious about my teeth for the rest till now.
I mean, that's a fucking compliment right there, dude. Because all you gotta do is smile with your mouth closed.
Yeah,
you could have taken that and just started owning that place.
Or do it where your lips cover your teeth the whole time.
Hey, no, see, but it just kind of,
See, now I'm thinking about it. Like, am I covering my teeth up right now?
Nah, I don't know. I mean, my wife's hot. My life's good.
I mean, right. We did just talk about that.
There's those other aspects of your life where it hasn't necessarily held me back, but it has fucked with my head, right? So I haven't wanted to do a YouTube channel because I don't want to be like, hey guys, welcome to fucking, and it's like this shit up close.
That's all I'm looking at now. I'm like, damn, his teeth are fucked up.
Yeah. So.
But luckily the camera's back far enough it doesn't notice.
Oh, trust me, that one's angled for a reason.
Oh, that's hilarious.
But no, it's just one of those deals, man. And
I just want a gold one right there, dude.
That'd be sick. You could pull off a gold tooth.
I'm gonna get one.
That'd be dope.
And I kind of want to knock off the other side on this one.
So it's like you can just stick a straw right in there.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Then it'll really look like meth teeth.
Yeah, but everything was good today. We got a plan now, so come May 15th, I'll have a whole new front set up.
Damn, they're knocking them all out and drilling them all in.
They're gonna take this one out because this one's fucked and this one's fucked, and then they're gonna take these and put a bridge. And so,
I just talked to somebody recently, and they're getting all their teeth knocked out.
Yeah, I looked at doing all the implant stuff, but
was that you that I talked to recently that said they were getting that done?
Well, I told you that I had to go to the dentist today for some shit.
No, somebody told me they were getting all their fucking teeth knocked out and a bunch of these put in.
Yeah.
To have all separate implants.
That'd be a bitch, dude.
Dude, I was awake. I was filming this. My first video on Instagram is me filming the ratchet wrench where he's screwing that into my jaw. And I was just like awake for it. I couldn't believe it. I was like, this is way fucking cool.
But yeah, come June, I'll have a fucking
damn.
I'll be styling a profile, and I hope I don't cry. You know what I mean? Because I've never, you know what I mean? It's like I started watching shit on YouTube.
Oh, when you see your face?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's like if I first hear myself or some shit.
You should start your unboxing videos then.
Yeah.
It's like, for my first product, I'm going to unbox my teeth.
Yeah, that'd be, I don't know.
You're going to cry like you're looking at your neck now.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm excited, but
I hope you do cry. I hope that you're that excited about the work that you cry.
Yeah.
I hope you don't cry because it didn't make it look any better.
It's like,
you're like, fuck. Now my face looks bad.
Yeah. Now it highlighted some other problem I have.
That's just like a bike, dude. You put one nice part on it. You're like, fuck, got to rebuild the whole thing, dude.
So just let it all deteriorate, and it all kind of looks like it's vintage. That's
got like, if I get a gold tooth, I'll have to clean all the rest of my teeth, you know?
Just tarnish the gold and make it look like it's got a little bit of a oxidation.
It won't take long. It'll have that, dude. You could get chrome or stainless steel, maybe.
Yeah, stainless is hot. Get it like heated up so I have like a little bit of that.
I asked somebody to make me a tooth one time.
For real?
Yeah.
That'd be sick to have like, you know how they would do like glass blowing and have like all the shit in it, like a bong or something, but you had a tooth like that? That might be sick. I don't know if that's possible, but came up in my head.
Yeah, I bet it is. I mean, anything's possible.
Yeah, why are we doing this regular teeth shit? Let's do some fucking custom teeth.
I know. I can't believe you're going to get all this work done and not do something. Like, you should paint one of them.
Little flame job going across my mouth.
Oh, dude, on one of them? You know those people that like
Do their nails?
They can write they like wrote the Declaration of Independence on a piece of rice
Oh shit! I didn't know.
down
that.
at Ripley's. Believe it or not, yeah.
Wow.
You have to have like a microscope to look at it. Yeah, you should like write something on your on your tooth.
Just get one of those fake ones where you get caught by the CIA, you just bite it and you die. Seen those?
Never needed one of those before. I definitely don't have information that's worth
Yeah.
dying over to the CIA.
Yeah. So yeah, good times. I'm excited. But I'm just gonna like rock the chipped front tooth for the next month and a half. So fuck it. Still got a girlfriend.
I mean, it's
Still-
been
I still got
working,
a
right?
wife.
It's
Yeah.
been working.
Yeah.
One
Yeah,
of these
people-
days, I'm going to go stay in Mexico long enough to get a gold tooth.
That'd be dope. I think you'd definitely polish off your style with a gold tooth. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you had the cornrows that time.
Oh, dude, I'm going to Honduras on Sunday.
Uh-huh.
I'll be getting them again.
Hell yeah.
Like,
You get
there's
some
no
designs
way.
like Jody High Roller. Riff Raff.
I mean, really, I'll just let them do it.
Yeah.
I'll just, whatever they do.
Yeah.
You know?
Speaking of teeth, he had those shark teeth that one time.
Yeah,
Ever see
yeah.
that video?
He probably has like fake teeth and he just has it all shit, you know, that way he could put it like grills and shit in.
Yeah, just magnets or something holding in place.
It's like a change them out. Fucking teeth, man.
That's what
Stupid
I should
shit.
get is a magnet teeth.
Yeah.
I'd lose them.
Yeah.
I mean, I've lost them and they were connected permanently. There's no way I could do interchangeable and keep it.
How has doing that Nepal trip, how has it been getting to know Lichter and, you know, somewhat being friends with him and things like that? Because it seems like y'all have done a lot together.
Lichter, you know what's funny is Lichter,
You first met him at the show that you rode the sidecar to, the FXR mics, right? That was the first time you met him?
no, I don't know.
Because I remember he shot you in the bike.
Yeah, maybe that was the first time we met. But shortly after I met him, I think it was before it was before Nepal. He calls me up or shoots me a message or something. He's like, "Hey man, I listened to your podcast and I don't know, I got some feedback for you if you care to hear it." And I'm like, "Lichter, he's got some,
Yeah.
absolutely. Call him up." You know, we get to chatting. Oh, I met him at Love Thy Chopper 10
Okay.
for the first time. So we get to chatting. He's telling me that he listened to, a part of an episode or a part of a couple episodes. He's like, "Man, I just think it's too long. You could edit these things down and really get to the meat of the thing. Nobody's got like an hour or two, or you had one that was 4, like people just aren't going to listen to that." And I'm like, okay, and he's like, he's being as nice as he possibly can, like didn't even really, since we didn't know each other that well at the time,
Yeah.
he was being really nice. And so I was like, okay, cool. I really appreciate it, Michael, but that's, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
Like this is what it is. This is how it's going to go. So then, I don't know, a year later, he calls me up. He's like, "Dan, remember what I said to you, when I gave you that advice?" And He was like, "Well, I just listened to your podcast for 12 hours straight. Don't listen to anything I say. Just keep doing whatever it is
Yeah,
you're doing." And I was just like, fucking rad.
I feel like a lot of people had to get used to that. They're scared of like the length of podcasts sometimes. Like they don't realize that like it's not like you're putting a podcast on and you're this for fucking 12 hours. It's like, no, go do some shit, put it on and listen to it. So I feel like a lot of people are scared to be in that space. Like they don't know how it works.
Yeah, I can imagine it probably comes as shocking when somebody pulls up a podcast for
got a
the first
6-hour
time
one on
ever.
YouTube.
And there's like, and it's 2 hours of my life. Like there's
Yeah.
no way. I did a 25-minute intro the other day, and I was like, that was retarded. Put it out anyways.
Was it the ugly sweater one that we did 6 hours?
I think so.
Yeah, we did mushrooms before that, and then we did a I don't even know what the fuck we talk. I don't remember half the shit when we drink on these podcasts. I'm just here for it, and I'm
The
like,
comments were really good.
they were, but yeah, mushrooms and podcasts was very hard. I couldn't. We had to keep sunglasses on so we wouldn't stare and start laughing. You know what I mean? Because if you make eye contact with somebody who's also tripping, you're like, "You tripping?" Like, "Yeah, I'm tripping." It's like you just start laughing about any fucking thing. So trying to keep my shit together this whole time, and I had to walk out like 2 or 3 times just so that I could go laugh and shit. You know what I mean?
No, I don't know. I don't do that.
Oh,
I have,
it's good times.
yeah, definitely not in this setting. I ate a lot of mushrooms last year. I ate mushrooms all the way from Mexico to my house.
Yeah.
Like the whole way, like right on the verge, like where the whole time I thought I was going to have to pull over. You know, like where I'm like, okay, overdid it, you know, like finally took too much, but then it would never go past that point. Like it was the perfect micro dosing. I gave them all the guys when I was like, well, you can't, I'm not going to give them to you unless we're on the road riding. So I was like passing out, you know, as we're going down the fucking freeway.
Me and my wife both do the microdosing thing. I fucking love it. It's
Daily?
We would do like cycles where we'll do like a week and then off a week. That way it doesn't kind of like, supposedly it gets to the point where what's the word I'm looking for? You get used to it.
Like,
basically, it's not as potent anymore.
Oh, your tolerance.
Tolerance, that's right. Yeah.
Because I do the same thing. I'll do the weekends off and maybe like 1 or 2 days during the week.
Dude, when she does it, when she's not doing it, I'm like, are you not on mushrooms right now? Because you're being a cunt, dude. For real.
Damn.
And then she takes it. She's like the fucking perfect person. Like, interested in me, listen to me.
It takes mushrooms for my wife to care about me.
Exactly. Maybe when I get my teeth fixed.
I was going to say, when you get those teeth, everything's going to change, dude.
Yeah. But no, it was wild. 6-hour podcast, and we only put 4 out of the hours on the actual audio, and we just left the rest of it up here on YouTube. So, but no, mushrooms are fun. What were we talking about? You were talking about Michael Lichter? Oh, and the time on podcasts. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So he was like, yeah, just do whatever you're doing.
He's still very active in so many different aspects of everything, and he's everywhere, right? I've been trying to I just want to be his friend so fucking bad, and every time I'm always texting him, hey man, let's do this podcast, and seems like he's always passing through Dallas to do something with the chopper community.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, I want to do this podcast with you, and he said he wanted to do it too. And then every time I see him, like I was at Mama Tried, I'm like, hey Michael, and of course he's in cameraman mode where he's got like knee pads on.
Sean's right there. He's like, Sean, go over there and see what that guy wants.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, man, I just want to fucking shake your hand, dude.
He is a fucking working dude. Like he's a workaholic. Like he literally, I mean, even at events, he stays up. He fucking stays up all night long, fucking editing or right. I don't know what he's doing, but he's working, and then he's right back at it the next morning.
Yeah, he figured it out, man. Because right now in the world of photography, it's really, it's just there's so many people doing it, and he's got that pedigree of so many years of all the things that I mean, a lot of his photos, I would love to have some like prints of it here, just because they're so iconic. In my opinion.
Sells those on his website.
Yeah,
you can buy those.
Available. Give me one
every day. He gives out postcards.
Yeah,
their fucking postcards are rad too.
Yeah,
I got those.
But I've always wanted to talk to him because of just him being involved in the motorcycle scene since, so long ago, before I was even born, essentially, And if anybody knows what and how the scenes have changed and evolved, it's him, He's shot it, he was there.
Dude, what's crazy, we went and rode motorcycles in Nepal.
Yeah.
On the same trails that he went and walked down in the 70s.
Oh, shit. Seriously?
Yeah. Like, he was there before there was even fucking roads. There wasn't even bicycles.
Wow.
He, like, walked to the villages. He spent weeks doing it. We did it, like, just fucking riding dirt bikes like assholes over there. It was sick. But, he walked those the same trails, like the Annapurna Trail or Circuit or something. Yeah, the dude's fucking...
Yeah, well, that feature that he did on you that was on that Dennis Kirk deal, it was really well worded. Honestly. And the other thing I wanted to bring up was that when you did that Blue Todd podcast.
Oh, the Toddcast.
That fucking was an awesome video that dude put on YouTube of you. And it was like, it's podcast, right? It is, but it's not really the same thing.
It's a Toddcast.
Okay, exactly. Whatever that is. But it was
the Blue Toddcast.
It was fucking dope, man. Like I really felt like, yep, that's the way it was cut, the way the information that was relayed through your voice and the scenery, like it was just a fucking badass video. That
dude's fucking pro, dude. Did you see the videos he's put out just like in the last week?
I haven't seen the most recent one.
So he works with this sound company.
Yeah.
Like a company that offers like sound effects online. And he was like, hey man, there's no vintage motorcycle sounds. So they went and recorded vintage motorcycle sounds, like the kick starting, like all the shit.
So you can piece together some
And he
audio.
made this fucking sick video. And then he just did this belt with the guys from Nash. And he made this video of him going out with his belt. And just this, like the simple, subtle, well, not even subtle. He overdoes the sound effects, but it's fucking so well done.
Yeah.
He pulls off his belt, starts his motorcycle with it. And then he's got like a snake rattle as the belt like goes back through the belt loops. It's so good.
Well, that video, like I said, I felt like it really. What was it like doing it at the time? Like when you just met up with them and y'all went and rode out and.
Yeah. So let's see what happened. That was, I guess that was after I went and rode those fucking adventure bikes with BMW at Rawhide. And I go through Joshua Tree. He's in Pioneer Town. We met up and we literally just rode. Like he was just like, come check out these places. And we just ride. Next thing you know, we're on dirt roads. We went and got tacos. I mean, we hung out. Actually, we worked on his bike for a couple hours. And then we went and rode maybe 2 days. And he was just showing me around.
Yeah.
Like when we talked the whole time, I was like, what are we going to podcast about? Like literally.
Yeah.
And the way he did it was so good. Like he really got to know me. He dug in a little bit. And then we sat down and did a podcast. And he kind of like dug in a little bit deeper on all the things that we talked about that week and some things that we didn't talk about, like, you know, whatever it was. But, you know, the whole time we're just riding. He's got his camera. He's on his fucking chopper, you know, with a Springer front end and ape hangers, one-handed going through the fucking sand. And we're hauling ass, you know, like.
Yeah, the shots were fucking dope on there.
Oh, dude,
you know
he's
what I mean?
good.
Yeah, didn't he work with or something like with Momoa or something like that? Do something with him at some.
Yeah, I mean, part of that video was shot in Momoa's driveway or in the road in front of his house. But yeah, Momoa's got a place out there, so they're friends. They've done some work together, and they got more work to do in the future. You know, they did that ice video for Harley.
Okay,
he was part of the Pan America video that they shot with Momoa to launch that bike. And yeah, dude, Todd's
I remember
pro
like
as fuck. And he's a cool dude. He's got like a great attitude, a great outlook, and just, you know.
No, I like that video, man. Like I said, when I saw it pop up, I watched it and I was like, fuck yeah, like it was dope. It was a great video. It was informative. It really captured like some type of essence of you, if you will. And the cinematography was great too. We went with it.
Yeah.
So I thought it was cool. I wanted to ask you what that experience was like.
It was so simple. And that's probably like what made him have to, you know, what I'm learning about doing the video stuff, like if you don't like plan shit out and like set up scenes, there's just a lot of video that you still got to edit it down. You you know, I'm sure it took him months to edit that, you know, to go through all the footage that we filmed, and make that clip that was what, like 15 minutes long or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, he puts some. I mean, every time I talk to him, he's editing.
Nice.
That's what he's doing. He's fucking editing, or he's fixing to go shoot some more, or he's working on his bike.
So I know that you kind of fucked around with the GoPro stuff quite a bit. Have you found anything that you are comfortable with using it, and found a way that you want to use it with the Talk Shop or just the Danger Dan brand, if you will?
You know, like the video I did with the Desperado run.
Yeah.
You know, most of that video my kids use. I just show my kids, you know, where I've been, what I've been doing. You know, and there's probably a way where I could use more of it and relate it. Like I thought about, you know, setting up a GoPro when I do a podcast now. Say I go to fucking Jace's shop, right? And we're down there sitting next to your bikes. Just set up 2 cameras, GoPros, and put them on us and record the podcast like I normally would. Yeah. And then like pick a segment of the podcast, like a story that you told, and then just make a quick little highlight video for, you know, promotional purposes.
So that's actually, you know, we do all this, it's recorded straight live to it. We wanted to do the same thing where maybe we had a good, you know, like the clips, like Rogan clips and everybody else's podcast.
That every podcast has video. They put out sweet little fucking clips.
And
dude.
It kind of helps the people that don't know if they want to invest.
Great, like, I don't know why you haven't done that yet.
Time, man. Remember I told you that paint and
what's Jamie doing over there, man?
He's painting bikes and powder coating parts. He's doing his shit.
Oh man,
he's just here tonight helping me out.
Yeah.
So I've got him, and Saxon is the guy that was doing it primarily. He's moving to Salt Lake in like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, something like that. So he's not going to be able to help me anymore.
Start his own podcast up there.
Maybe, Yeah.
Everybody
is, right? But no, so I'd love to find some kind of young guy that wants to be in here to do stuff. It's just kind of hard to, like I don't make enough money to pay someone's salary off of it yet. You know what I mean? It'd be different if like you had some badass video guy. I'm not a badass video guy. I wish I was. Maybe if I had more time to fuck with it, I could learn some of the.
I think if somebody was willing to put in the time to follow me around and do this, they could their salary could get paid.
Do you know how much money people need to live these days?
I know, dude.
You found a way to live pretty modestly, if you will.
I am very fortunate, you know. Sacrifices have been made, and are being made every day.
And I've honestly been chipping away at all the expenditures that I have in my life and trying to get down to a very bare bones minimum, what I need to be happy, if you will. And but fuck, man, it's getting so fucking expensive to live in Dallas now. Like $1,000 a week is not a lot of money anymore. You know what I mean? For a lot of people that live around here. So, and I can't afford to pay someone that. I don't make the kind of money to do that.
That shit adds up, dude.
It does. So, I wish it'd be nice. It'd be nice if our industry was so big that, podcasts could grow a lot faster. But motorcycle industry is not as massive as the tech industry or the makeup industry or the comedy industry. And that's way more, those kind of podcasts always do well because they're fun, and motherfuckers are funny. But
motherfuckers are funny. Have you got any comedians in here?
I was talking to Natalie Cuomo about coming in here.
Yeah.
But when she was here doing the Hyenas deal, I was in New York with my son. So it didn't work out too well. But other than that, I don't have a line to reach out to certain people that I would probably want to have on the podcast.
Yeah. Have you looked outside of the motorcycle realm?
Oh, yeah. But don't you feel like, I guess, let me tell you my way, the way I see it is I just feel like I owe my audience a type of content, right? But I have all this shit, so I would rather have a podcast that maybe wasn't so motorcycle centric to where it could be maybe on current events or maybe on like just what's going on and talk shit about whatever, you know what I mean? Not be kind of pigeonholed into just motorcycle content, right? But I felt like this brand was built on motorcycles and it'd be hard to deviate too far from that path and keep people's interest. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, all you got to do
Are
is...
you going to talk motorcycles with Natalie?
No, not really. I felt like... I don't know. I mean, I
what do you know about Sportsters anyways?
Not much. Yeah, I don't know. I rode my mom's around for a while, but that was about it. But no, I don't know. I thought it'd be, cool, just whatever.
No, I'm just fucking with you.
Just being able to talk to someone that has, a connection to motorcycles in some form or fashion would be nice.
I mean, there are some comedians that ride.
Yeah, Dean Del Rey.
Yeah.
Who else? Oh, fuck.
He actually had somebody on the other day that I talked to about coming on to my show.
There's another guy in California that I was on his podcast. We kind of did it together. Like I took the audio, he took the audio. We put it separate, like uploaded it on our own. And it was the Ride Boundless podcast. And he's actually had on him and that dude Michael Beach, who played in like Sons of Anarchy. He's a writer, black guy and all that type of shit too.
What'd you call this guy's podcast?
The Ride Boundless podcast, I believe.
Ride Boundless?
Yeah.
Boundless,
yeah. It's not bad. It's pretty good, And he's got a guy that's kind of doing all the editing and actually he's a photographer too. So they do a good job putting out stuff. And the guy rides an adventure bike and a Harley, so he's kind of like dual wielding, if you will.
Where's your adventure bike, dude? Last time we talked, you were like, you're fucking leaning in the adventure world. You were talking about it. You were like, getting excited about it.
I was excited about it originally, but what really kind of has deterred me from that is I don't know that I don't know if I'm really excited to ride off road. You know what I mean? Like I don't mind hitting a dirt road here and there but I'm not necessarily at a point where I'm like, I want to take this dirt road that goes up this mountain.
It's so sick, dude.
I know it's got to be, but I don't know. It hasn't.
I mean, I
hit
think
me
that's
yet.
a very good awareness.
Yeah.
That you've got of yourself and the boundaries, or just your wants, really. Because a lot of people, they get those bikes and they don't fucking go off road anyways.
Yeah. See, I feel like if I was, the one international ride, if you will, that I do want to have is that one from, the bottom of South America to at least here, right? That's kind of like if I don't ever get to ride anywhere in the world, if I can just do that in my lifetime, then I think I'll be satisfied. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
I feel like I would. I watched that Long Way Up.
Do it.
Well,
When they rode the electric bikes, dude,
Yeah.
fucking ran out of juice like the first day.
that got real annoying real quick.
That got so annoying.
But I mean, just the scenery they were going through, the way the land looked, like
It fucking looks insane.
yeah, I'm fucking drawn to that, and I want to experience that. I would rather do that on an adventure bike, but that is just like you're continuing to go straight. Like these roads turn into whatever they turn into, and you need a bike that's capable of going across those, and I'm good with that. But like I said, I don't have any desire to go jump rocks and try to jump over rivers and shit and do some, it's just not my thing.
Yeah.
Like I've never been a dirt bike guy. I actually wanted to ask you too about the Mint 400 type stuff, but I've seen that you went from basically ripping your chopper around at every little chopper show that was doing a fucking flat track thing, and that whole progression has gotten like competitive, and then it kind of like just went and turned into like adventure bikes, but still, ripping like you did it on the Sporty, right? The Mint 400.
Yeah, the first one I did on the Evo Sporty I built, and then the second one me and Carlos did together.
Yeah.
And dude, I mean, I've always been competitive, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
The reason I built the first Sportster that I gave away was literally because they said that my chopper I couldn't be in the hooligan class at a race. Like it wasn't.
I thought that was the whole point.
Well, hooligan racing got serious, so I'm like,
yeah.
fine, I'll fucking play, So I built a Sportster and raced that around, and it's fucking seriously competitive, and
Yeah.
sliding 500-pound bikes around with people that aren't very good at sliding bikes around like yourself.
Yeah.
I'm just glad I got out of there without breaking a fucking leg or an
Yeah.
ankle or not breaking somebody else's leg. I mean, I think I almost, I definitely took Stephanie Peets out multiple times.
Yeah.
It was like, you know how you go where you're looking? Which, I'm fucking looking at her, That's so I run into her.
Yeah.
But I mean, that was fun. And then I was going to build an adventure bike out of the next Sportster. And I wasn't even going to race. I literally was like,
do that on a bagger too at one point. Didn't you have like a bagger in the garage, like an Ultra Classic or something?
I had an Ultra Classic, but I built that. I mean, I didn't build it. I just like brought it up to speed, freshened the motor up, thanks to the guys in Louisiana, and then sold it before my wife got to sit in the back seat. So she can't know about this yet.
Yeah.
She doesn't need to know that this exists, dude.
Don't fucking ruin anything.
But yeah, so then I was going to build an adventure bike with a Sportster. And then next thing you know, I'm like, well, I'm going to build it to race the Mint 400 first,
Yeah.
Seeing what the Builtwell guys had done at the Nora, seeing what, like the videos Rusty Butcher was posting, jumping them, him and Mikey Virus out shredding the hills.
Yeah.
And then just the lure of the Mint 400,
Yeah.
Like the fact that they would even let me on that track, on a fucking Harley. I'm like, dude, let's go.
Yeah, the second time, like y'all had a pit crew with Was and who else was with it?
Nick,
yeah,
Was, Carlos, my buddy Randall was there. It was sick.
Yeah.
It was so sick. The first time, Carlos happened to show up the last day. Bear from Old Bike Barn, he sent a guy down there that like pretty much just videotaped the whole thing. If it wouldn't have been for him, I wouldn't have captured any content because that was fucking brutal. I'd never even ridden in sand like that, much less a 500-pound dirt bike that I hadn't even ridden. Like I literally was fixing it, like buttoning up the last pieces when I got to Vegas.
Yeah.
Test rode it in the pits and then took off on the track. That was the hardest thing I've ever done in my entire life, dude. I wish it would have blown up in mile 5. Would have blew up in mile 85. And I was smoked, dude.
Damn. And that was the first trip.
Yeah, that was the first one.
Yeah, yeah.
And I didn't even care to fucking do it again. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm not worthy. That's fine. But Carlos, oh no, he's like, bet we can do it on an Ironhead.
Wow.
So he built that bike, and you know, and I think he was just planning on racing it by himself to begin with. But I was like, hey,
Yeah.
I learned some things. We should. I'll help. You know, let me be a part of this. We'll fucking swap out.
Yeah.
And then it just grew from there. You know.
Y'all did well on that trip, right? The second one.
Yeah, we finished.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, it was sick. I mean,
Yeah.
it was so sick. We finished on I mean, you know, we learned a lot. The bike made it. Everybody was stoked. It was just as fucking difficult. We broke a bunch of pieces. We fixed a bunch of shit, and we made it across the finish line. And we had fun in Vegas.
Yeah, it's always a good time.
Yeah, we killed it.
It looked fucking fun. Like I said, I don't know that. I don't know. I see adventure bikes, and because I look at them a lot. I start to aesthetically like them. You know, I look at bikes from the appearance a lot because I work on them and paint them. You know what I mean? So I'm always looking for that. And the adventure bikes at first were kind of like hideous to me, and then they started growing on me, and then the Pan America came out, and it was dope. It's like a T-Sport kind of, but you know, for the dirt. And I've actually ridden that a little bit. It's fucking dope, but like I said, I'm not tall and long either. So, and I'm not used to being on a bike that I can't really touch the ground on, like a dirt bike. I've never really been on dirt bikes, so it's just a very different feel for me, as opposed to like if I'm riding my Dyna or my Bagger on some dirt roads and it starts to get squirrely. Like I feel a little bit more comfortable with that versus a bike that's got me fucking, you know, dangling my feet trying to tiptoe
With
around.
150 horses, you know,
Yeah,
you fucking twist
retarded.
the throttle and that motherfucker will go.
Yeah.
So fucking fast.
I thought it was dope as fuck though. Like, well, actually, y'all were talking about it on a podcast, or I'm sure many of them, but when you fucking hit the side of the truck.
Oh, dude, I smoked that motherfucker.
That fucking video
dude.
went to everybody so quick. I think it was in our group chat.
Oh, I mean, that was like 2 days after I picked up the paint, you know?
Yeah.
And it didn't fucking do anything.
I'm just glad that you did the paint job on it and kept it true to, you know, doing a flame job on there.
I mean,
Yeah.
what am I going to ask Randy to do? Hey, can you do panels like Jace? Yeah. You know, I really want to dress this bag. I mean, my adventure bike up.
Yeah.
No, I mean, that was really the
fitting.
only. And I don't even think what did I think I just told him he had like 4 days, and he was not happy.
Was he already at the new spot out there in Henderson, or was he still working over here at the?
Dude, you want to hear a story?
Yeah, that's what we're here for.
So I told him, so I warned him. I'm like, hey, dude, I'm getting one of these bikes when it shows up, and I'm going to need, you know, first thing it happens, it needs to be painted by you. He's like, cool, whatever. So I get the bike, and I go from Dallas Harley Davidson straight to his house. And I'm like, got it. He's like, cool. And I'm going to take it apart, give it to him. Actually, I went to Moose's house and took it apart and then drove it to him the next day. So we go to Moose's shop. Maybe I rode it around the parking lot, rode it around the dealership, and we took it apart. Like literally took it apart and dropped it over and broke some shit like the first day. And then I take Scott to pay, or I take him the tins, and he's like, when do you need this by? And I'm like, Friday. And it's like Tuesday. And he just looked at me like I was kidding around. And I'm like, nah. I'm coming back to pick it up Friday. Like, I don't care what it looks like at that point, you know.
Yeah.
So he wasn't happy with me at all. Like,
it looked dope, especially after like the pictures that Michael took. You know, even those shots of you riding it, going through the water.
oh, well,
all
he
that
killed
shit.
it.
Yeah.
So I call him up Friday. I'm like, hey, is it done yet? And he was like, no, it's not fucking done at all.
Yeah.
You know, like the shit's soft. I can't do this. I can't do that. And I'm like, all right, well, I'm leaving Monday morning. Like, I'll come pick him up Sunday. You know, like I kind of wanted to put it back together and make sure that it worked before you know. But so if I go over there Sunday, and it's like, I think he calls me up at like 5:30, and I'm already like halfway there, just waiting on his phone call because it's an hour and a half from me. He calls me up. I'm like, all right, I'll be there in like 30 minutes. I show up. It looked like he had just gotten done like texturing a house. He's just like covered in white shit, you know?
Oh, from polishing it?
And my buddy Randall, he got a bike too. So I've got the fairing off of his bike with me. And I walk in. He doesn't even say hi or nothing. He just opens the door and goes back to eating a taco. And I walk in the kitchen. I see my shit. It looks so fucking sick with the flames on it. But I just act like I No big deal.
No, you don't care.
And I set that fairing down next to him. I'm like, all right, I got one more. And I think we got about 3 extra days this time. And he looks at me like he's ready to fucking kill me, dude.
You didn't give him the fairing at the same time?
No, it was a fairing to another bike.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm like, hey, I got another bike I need you to paint, and a quick turnaround again. And he's fucking pissed, dude. I guess that tank was aluminum, and it didn't, it was a little, just took more, finessing.
It's a very awkward. I painted one too.
Yeah.
It's very awkward. It's like a BMW GS tank is very similar. How it has this big valley in the center.
Yeah.
Because all the gas, like almost like saddlebags, are kind of on
it goes
the sag.
around the motor.
Yeah.
Well, so he's eating his tacos. He's covered in all this shit, and I realized what's going on, dude. He had just cut and buffed this in his girlfriend's kitchen. And there's just. Not only does he look like he's covered, like the whole fucking kitchen, the cabinets, everything's got compound all over everything, dude.
Wow.
I was just like, oh shit, I just grabbed the shit and left.
All right, man. Thank you. You deal with that shit now. Yeah, that's pretty wild. So what's your thoughts on the bike? I mean, you've actually had it since damn near they dropped them.
Yeah, I have. It's awesome. That's coming from a 1959 shovelhead chopper.
Yeah.
In my 1977 XT500, But no, really, I mean, so just before I got that, I went out to Rawhide Adventures, thanks to Mark Boucher over at BMW. Mm-hmm. And those guys are just fucking smart. They're like, dude, get Danger Dan on a GS 1250 before he rides the Pan America, just so he's got that in the back of his mind, you know? And they're fucking, dude, that bike is bad. The BMW was sick. Mm-hmm. And really I was just going to I was going to get a BMW. Mm-hmm. And then on the way to Daytona, I just started thinking like, well, fuck, Harley's finally doing something that I appreciate. Yeah. And I built everything I'm able to do right now is because of the community built around Harley Davidson, Yeah. Maybe not the Harley Davidson that's in charge today, but because of what they've done and
because of the legacy.
Yeah, exactly. So, fuck, I never thought I'd want a brand new bike, and then they drop this out when I'm thinking about buying a different adventure bike. So I'm like, fuck it, that's what I'm gonna get that. Yeah. Call up Lance over at Harley in Dallas and say, hey, I want the first one that shows up. I don't want any fucking influencer deal. Like, hook me up like you would your brother. I want the first bike. Yeah. And he calls me up a couple weeks later and he's like, you want to come test ride them? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, no, like, I don't want to know that I made the wrong decision before I buy it. Like I'm not buying it because I think it's the best adventure bike for what I want to do. Just fucking tell me when mine's there. And so that was the attitude I went into it with, like knowing that it wasn't going to be as good as the BMW. Like it's just not even possible. Like it's just, they've been doing that for so long. The engineering, their approach to like building the best motorcycle. Well, Harley's not in the business of building the best motorcycle. They're in the business of like selling community, like selling more than just a motorcycle. Mm-hmm. And they're great at that, right? So I didn't really have like really high expectations. Yeah. But let me tell you what, it fucking exceeded my expectations.
I've heard
the bike's fucking bad. I've jumped the shit out of it. I've ridden through boulder fields. I've ridden across corduroy tree roads. Like I've taken it places that I wouldn't want to ride a dirt bike. But I just kind of like, me, I'm just like, well, I'm just going to go that way. And I've gotten myself in some positions where it's like, fuck, I got no choice. I can't go back. I don't even know how I made it through that trail already. I can't turn around. And it's gotten me out of all those spots. Now I haven't I don't even have that many miles on this one. But the majority of them are
different type of mile, though.
It's the majority is dirt and rocks and sand and it's I'm sure it's got its weak points. There's things like but it's the first time they even gave it a shot, dude. Like for them to come out and do as well as they did on their first swing, it's pretty fucking impressive.
I think the only thing I was kind of vocal about when I first heard about it was when I was doing a lot of research because I was considering getting a BMW. Yeah. You just kind of start to see how massive their network is across the world for actual hubs to get those bikes worked on. And we all know Harley's everywhere as T-shirt shops. So it's like if we're going to Argentina or back and forth from there, it's like I know we're going to find a Harley dealership somewhere, but I bet they just got some T-shirts and poker chips, you know, as opposed to the BMW is probably going to be a place where they can.
But even if it is T-shirts and poker chips, they have a direct line to Juneau.
Yes, but you know, I'm thinking like a place that can actually is there to service these bikes.
Oh, you're worried you want somebody else to work on your bike. Yeah, with that approach, yes. I looked at it as there are Harley places everywhere where I have a direct line to Juneau, where I can be like, look, I broke this. Fucking send an email, call them, send a bird, whatever, you know, have them send it with the next batch of T-shirts.
I like the fact that you are so confident that Juneau's going to give a fuck.
No, they don't. They don't care if fuck you're in the States.
Exactly. So I'm thinking like when you have a dealership that is very understanding of that community of adventure riding bikes and kind of the way they need to, I would say that they need some kind of separate treatment, but their bikes, they need different things on those bikes than the typical road glide and softail dude that's going to pull up to the dealership.
So once again, I'm not saying that this is the best bike to buy for this type of thing.
I think it's a great bike. I'm just talking about.
It's a step in the direction that I would like to contribute towards.
Agreed.
You know, like
100%.
You know, it's not going to get to that without people going out and buying these fucking bikes and showing them, hey, this is what we want.
For the first time of them doing it, it turned out good.
Yeah, and if I did,
and if you want them to get better, we'll get fucking. We gotta show them. You know.
So 100%. If I did get to the point where I was going to go the adventure bike route, for even if it was just you know, doing the Transamerica Trail, TAT, what is that?
That's one of them, yeah.
So if I was going to do something like that, then yeah, I would definitely go Harley just because I'm a Harley guy, you know?
Because they're fucking badass, dude.
You know?
Ever seen a fucking BMW with flames on it?
No. And honestly,
you ever seen a custom painted BMW?
No, and that's
a
one of the
GSA
things.
anyways.
Well, that's kind of the thing that kind of detoured me from buying that. So my last Road Glide, it was between a Road Glide and a GS. Because I was sitting on the GSs like, fuck, they got this lowering thing where you can get a lower seat for my short ass, things like that. I was like, I can do this.
The suspension on those bikes is fucking amazing.
For real. So I was
amazing.
Ready to go that direction. But I started thinking like, well, if I don't have a Harley to paint, then I can't really sell or market. And I don't know if that place.
You're not going to be able to showcase anything on this BMW.
And I feel like a BMW painting one of those, it's kind of like, then you go to the local BMW spot, you start running it around. It's like,
those motherfuckers don't care about custom paint,
you know. And I
don't worry, I didn't give a fuck about that, but I still was looking at it like,
but it's
how am I going to make this motherfucker look cool?
Yeah,
you know,
that's exactly what I feel like we all wanted to see happen when Harley dropped this bike. Was guys like you getting on it and being like, fuck this shit, let's paint it, let's make it look like ours, because. You know, in the nature of a Harley rider, we all want to personalize our bike to our liking, you know, and that's what I enjoyed seeing happen with this bike. Because not only you, like, I painted the one for a homie. I got 3 other friends that painted them. Like, everybody's painting them. Like, it's. Yeah,
I'm really honestly kind of disappointed in the aftermarket right now. And I know that, like.
It takes time.
There's like.
So this is why I would say that the aftermarket's taking their time. Because everybody saw what Harley did with the live wire and basically killed it or pushed it down a different direction after 1 year. So if you're a company that's going to invest, you know, possibly $100,000 into like R&D for some parts, and then Harley drops the bike or pushes it in another direction or some shit like that, then you got a bunch of shit that you don't have enough bikes to sell it to. You know what I mean?
I mean, I get all that.
Yeah. That's how you have an aftermarket.
Who the fuck didn't see this coming? You know, like the adventure market is like the biggest growing market in
100%.
Motorcycles. Harley's getting in there, you know, like they have if anybody's going to be able to rip off the GS, it's Harley, you know, and they did it. They like left room for the aftermarket. Whereas like a GS, you're not going to, there's no company that's building a different front end to put on that to like get rid of the telelever, cantilever, whatever the fuck that's going on up front or in the back. Like, no, that's BMW shit. Yeah, they nailed it. But in the Harley, like, somebody could redo that front end, you know, like it's just tubes. Like There's room there. I mean, I already broke the front and the back suspension on mine. And they warrantied it. But I went in, I didn't even think it was, I mean, it wasn't even the bike's fault. Like I fucking treated it like an asshole, you know?
Yeah,
like
but that's what it's designed for, though. It's designed for you to take it in some shitty situations.
Yeah, but I went further than that. Like I took it in those places and then jumped it off cliffs, you know, like multiple times when you feel your feet on the ground.
Yeah.
After you land while they're on the pegs,
Wow.
but your feet are.
Yeah, breaking cases probably.
Yeah. So I was going to take it to a buddy and have him, you know, redo the suspension, like, cause that's what he does is suspension work. And, he was like, dude, you need to at least get it back to normal.
Yeah.
And then when they warrantied it, I was like, well, I'm not going to let you fucking touch it.
Yeah, that's a good thing. About
How many
having
times can I break this before you guys stop fixing it?
Well, have you had the issues that like people have been having with the starters yet? Apparently, like there's not like a compression release or something like that in there where people are having starters going out and they haven't had like a chance to. Harley hasn't had a chance to fix it, so they can't necessarily warranty it or some shit like that.
No.
I don't think it's big enough yet to be a warrant or to be a recall, but it was
I don't know. I just don't trust people. Those people are probably fucking retarded. You know?
I don't disagree.
You know, like I had to pull my battery today because I took it out in the snow the other day.
Okay.
Which was awesome, right? You know, like it was great until I tried to slow down. I just like fucking dropped it and slid across tin top on my side. It's amazing how many times I've dropped that bike and it, you know.
Still is good.
Yeah, I mean, the engine guards are all fucking tweaked.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean.
How much?
I don't know how it doesn't. Like the handlebars have, there were so many things that like so when I got the bike, I took off a bunch of shit I thought was going to break.
Yeah.
And sent it, I sent it up to Tim, you know, like all the controls and shit.
Yeah.
Gigacycle. I'm like, hey, you know, scan it with your thing or do whatever you do so that when it breaks, you can build me something.
Yeah.
You know, the triple tree, like all the shit that I thought was going to be a problem. And none of that shit's fucking broke. I've seen one triple tree break, and I can't believe mine hasn't broken because it's like the way it's designed, you can feel like it's, you know, there could be a better setup.
Yeah.
But, dude, none of that shit's broken. Anyway, so I lay it down in the fucking ice, sliding down the road into the bar ditch, just praying that all the trucks are being able to stop.
Yeah.
And when you lay that bike down, the hazards get turned on. And they don't turn off. Even if you turn the bike off and turn it back on, the hazards don't turn off until you press the hazard button. Well, I just fucking pulled it in my trailer and fucking turned it off and went inside, and the hazards were just going off. So the battery went dead. So then I like tried to charge it up. Anyways, I couldn't get it charged, so I pulled the battery off. But yeah, while it was like not having enough juice, the starter was doing weird shit. But I mean, you can see that it's got like, it started at 10 volts, then it was 9, and then 8. And then I found out today I have one bad battery charger and one bad tender. I thought it was just the battery. So I went and pulled the battery off, stuck it on a third charger up in my shop, and now it's charging. So
that's good.
But yeah, dude, there's people on the internet complaining about the dumbest shit. Like I kept seeing people complain about the clock not working.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, I don't even know I haven't even seen the time on that fucking thing. I don't even like what.
Yeah.
The shit that people are complaining about is pretty fucking funny.
Usually the people that complain aren't riding it. You know?
Yeah, they're not the ones going down the rocks and everything like that.
My last bagger, I never even made the clock like match the actual time that it was.
Yeah, I
didn't know how to do it. So I just got to a point where I knew it was 6 hours ahead. And then sometimes 7 with the daylight savings. So, but no, it's when you bought it, I was like, I saw the progression. I could see that purchase happening with you, with all the flat tracking and getting into, because you were heavy as fuck into that shit for a while. I don't know if you still fuck with the flat track like you did a couple of years ago, but it seems like before the Nepal thing, it's turned you into like more of this dirt rider for hire.
I mean, I was always riding dirt before. But I've just, things have escalated.
Yeah.
But I just built another race bike.
Nice.
Like I'm going to Daytona.
Yeah. So that show still happens down there. The, what was that thing? What was the show called?
The Boogie East
Yeah.
at Annie Oakley Saloon, Friday, March. I don't know, 10th, 11th or something.
That show's been like, because Daytona, for a lot of people has turned into a shit show, but that show's been going on for quite a while. And now it seems like Daytona's just got a whole revival going on all types of different demographics of
I think
bikers.
all the big shows have.
Yeah.
People have found out that there's you may not like everybody there.
Yeah.
But you should be able to appreciate everybody there. And there are people doing exactly what you're doing there, having a good time.
Yeah.
You've been to Daytona. You've been to Sturgis. It's not just fucking leather-cladded doctors and lawyers.
Yeah.
And even those guys, they're literally up there to have fun. Like, they worked all year long so they can fucking put on some leather and ride their bike and fucking party.
Yeah.
What better attitude could you have to somebody you want to hang out with in Sturgis?
Fucking posers.
Now, yeah, absolutely.
Stupid.
Fucking come on, dude.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's obviously some people that are fucking dorks and they don't have that attitude. But I mean, I don't meet them. I don't see them. I'm not at those places.
Do you miss Giddy Up?
I miss everything about Giddy Up.
Yeah, me too.
Honestly, I think that it's beautiful that it's gone, though.
There is something to that. Like, it's this, what was it, the 5th year, right? The 5th year was the last year of it, I believe. But, yeah, there is something about it to where it's like, all these events, other than like maybe Sturgis or Daytona, these events could go away. So, like, always being like, I'll just go to that next year, and then next thing you know, it doesn't exist. But, man, Giddy Up fucking changed my life a lot. Like, meeting FXR Mike and you and all these guys and coming down, I was like, fuck, this is like the motorcycle scene that I've always wanted to have, and I didn't know it existed until I went to Giddy Up. You know what I'm saying? So, I think it's out of that show.
I think it's good that it died, only because, it didn't grow into something else. Because once it shows around for a long time, it takes on, anything like grows fucking on its own. It doesn't stay the way it was intended, and it just becomes something else. And
we're kind of getting to that point with the camp out. This is our 5th year doing it, and it's been this great. I like to use the word intimate because it felt like everybody that went there was able to sit around a fire and hear the story of where they traveled from and what they went through and shit. And now it's even last year it was past that point of being able to have one central hangout spot. It's gotten bigger. And there is that part of me that's like, I don't really want to turn it into like I don't want it to evolve into some kind of vendors everywhere.
Doesn't matter what you want. Doesn't matter. It's like, what do the people want? That's what it's going to do. You can pull the plug. I'm just saying to keep doing it, it's not what you want.
Exactly. It's because I want people to get the experience, right? And Giddy Up was set up in a way where you could have both of the experiences of the show and the party there at River Road, and then just the wild shit that took place at the campsites, And I still fucking remember the fun of just meeting with all the Dallas homies like Wes and those guys and going and doing laps around other people's campsites.
Just be drunk, walking around.
Dude, it was so fucking... And then the riding's not bad at all down there, so that's always good fucking food over there, too. So it's... I miss it, man. I do. I haven't had a chance to go to Fandango yet, though.
I was just going to say, so Fandango's kind of tapped into it.
Yeah.
And last year was like... It was... I got goosebumps now. Just because the campground... Like, I was concerned, honestly.
Yeah.
Like... I called up Kirk and Greg, the two guys that are spearheading the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, you guys do know that Giddy Up didn't happen this year. The fucking Texas Time Traveling show Matt was going to do didn't happen. So there's still a lot of people that want to come down here and fucking party and rage.
Yeah.
And, there's a possibility that this fucking campground turns into that campground. At River Road, and all I could think about was the guy that owns that place going around at 3 o'clock in the morning just yelling at people to stop doing what they're doing and make them fucking leave, and you guys will never come back here again. He said it every year. I'm like, is there any kind of like, I don't want to say a police presence, but like, is there anybody that's going to be down there making sure that it doesn't get out of hand? Because there's a possibility that and it didn't. But it was out of hand. Like, it was just enough. It was perfect, dude.
It was.
There was people everywhere from all over Texas. There was people that came in from fucking California. Where else? Fucking Dayton, Ohio. Louisiana. Like, it brought in a bunch of people. There was the camping, you know, you're not on a river, so it didn't have that, but it was all in this giant field. And
you have
it
trees
was
at least?
awesome. No, the weather was perfect too.
Okay, it wouldn't. Yeah, April's not that bad.
You know, and during the day, it's like fuck the campsite. Like, go.
Yeah,
And that's the one thing about Giddy Up is like you could just hang out at that campground all day long.
Yeah.
Where at this place it's like, nah, either go ride or go inside the venue and check out the old bikes, check out the swap meet, check out the chopper show, check out the flat track racing, check out the chopper drags, dude. It was so sick, man.
No, I want to check it out this year. I can't remember what happened last year. I know a lot of my friends went down there to check it out. A lot of the dudes that I do the trips and stuff with. But something was happening where I couldn't make it. But I do want to check it out.
Yeah, you should.
Whatever happened with the Texas Time Travelers deal with Matt Jackson? Is that gonna ever see the light of day? Do you think?
So the last time I talked to him about that, yeah, it was going to happen again next year, or I guess this year.
Yeah, fuck, it's already almost to where it needs to be happening. So I feel like there would already been some kind of flyer, and then everything, which is dope too with the Born Free situation coming out to Yellow Rose and everything. But it kind of
Wait a second, who told you that?
Everybody knows that, dude. So with that happening, which is, trust me, it's dope. And we went out to the Yellow Rose thing for I think the last Knife Fighter was.
Isn't that fucking venue so sick,
dope,
dude?
And with all the plans that Oliver and those guys were talking about what they're gonna do, it's gonna be the spot 100%. You know what I mean? It's already the spot, especially in East Texas there. And but yeah, with that event coming, I mean, I have a lot of questions as to how it's gonna be its own thing. Because I guess I'm thinking Born Free, and I'm thinking of the Born Free that me and you have been to, right? And then you think of that, and then you're like, how is that gonna fit? And I'm like, it's gonna be its own thing. It's its own style of Born Free here, right? Which I'm stoked about, but it also kind of really fucking crams in events at that time of year, the October-ish time when everybody seems to have been moving their events to last year, and due to COVID and stuff, with things getting shut down.
Yeah, and then they moved them back to spring.
Some
like Mama Tried was a couple weeks ago, and now it's going to be again in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
They're just trying to get back on track. In a lot of those bigger events, they've got, like I talked to Jeremy Prack from Flat Out Friday this week. Mm-hmm. They've had a contract for 3 years as to what the date was for 2022. Like just because 21 got delayed till fall doesn't mean that they got to do it differently in 22. So,
well, yeah, they're also trying to, cover as much of the people that were already invested from that previous Flat Out Friday and Mama Tried and all that shit. So, yeah, I spoke with him too. Really awkward dude, but super cool. Jeremy's got a vibe.
I fucking love that guy, dude.
The first time I went to Milwaukee, we sat down and talked, and I feel like we started talking philosophy and shit, to be honest with you. Like, not even talking about any of the shit they got going on, but it was fun. The dude's got he's got a vibe, and we went to Flat Out Friday in the last shit that just happened in December. Mm-hmm. It was fucking fun to watch, dude.
Fuck yeah, it is.
This dude came out on a fucking jet ski, and the other
so
dude.
So you guys were there at that one, huh?
Saw the whole thing took place. It was like, I was like, I didn't know I was gonna like this. You know what I mean? I really didn't. It was pretty.
Go fast,
fun.
Turn left, dude.
Yeah,
it's fun. You see, the jet ski dudes. Oh, dude, it's fucking fun.
Even his post interview was I couldn't word for word right now, but it was he was in character the whole fucking time, dude.
Yeah,
it was a good show. And
that's
Mama
who
Tried.
You should have got on the fucking podcast, dude.
Yeah, Mama Tried was a really fucking good time too. I thought that was a really dope how they set it up. Like when you walked in there, like it felt cool to be there. All the vendors that were like downstairs, and even the ones that were kind of on the outskirts of every level, the way the bikes were displayed, I was like, that's the kind of shows I like.
Fucking well done.
Yeah,
dude.
well done.
Well done.
Good lighting. It kind of shows the paint and all the different finishes on the bike in such a nice way with the right lighting versus like you go to those one shows and every bike looks like they're just parked there. Like, man, you can't fucking see shit on this bike. You can't take pictures of nothing. Yeah. It looks like you're just all at a barbecue joint and you try to cram into fucking 3 spots. You know what I mean?
Those guys do it right up there.
They do.
I'm pretty
100%.
stoked because Scott invited me to bring my new race bike up there. Mm-hmm. Jeremy said he's going to name a fucking race after me. It's going to be like the Danger Dan Brakeless class or something.
You've definitely kind of started to transcend in so many different ways. Like, I see your name popping up in so many different areas of things. I couldn't name it right now, but I always feel like I'm like, I guess you're in the new Easy Rider that's about to drop. Like, there's an article about you in there.
Is there?
I think. Fucking cool guy over here. He's got it in his back pocket. He's like, oh, this one right here.
No, I was just told that this week too.
No, but it's like dope. I just, it's like a.
I was like, dude, they better not be fucking putting my yoga pictures on the cover of Easy Riser, dude. Michael Lichter, you better fucking watch yourself, dude.
The yellow rose doing the yoga at the on the
exactly
in the bowl there. Yeah, that's that's dope, man. I guess the word's kind of proud of all the shit that you've kind of made happen with what you're doing.
Thank you. I mean, I just like trying out. I just like new experiences.
Yeah,
it's kind of like the way I like to travel. I go down roads that I haven't been down before. So like the new race bike is a 42 flathead that my boys Boston Billy and Jason at B&B Racing built. And it's in it's a Cervi car frame with the back cut off and a hardtail kit put on from back in the day. Dude, the welds are like, they look like it was stick welded together. But the class that I'm racing in Daytona is the Sons of Speed, and it's the 45 cubic inch brakeless class. So there's absolutely no fucking brakes on this bike.
How does that Sons of Speed work? Is it just like an old track?
Just a big circle, half mile with 45-degree banked walls or something.
Have you ridden on anything like that before?
No.
That'd be dope.
Never. And I've never raced.
Are you going to get Billy Lane on your podcast?
I don't know. I mean, probably soon.
Yeah. I've always wanted to do one with him, but I kind of want you to do it first.
Well, I'll make it happen. I kind of like, I like to meet the people that I'm going to have on my show. Like,
I do too.
Not like, I don't want to hang out with them for a weekend, but I want to I want to talk to them without bringing up the podcast at least once. Now I've done that with Billy. I rode with Billy. I didn't even know who the fuck he was the first time I met him.
For real.
He was just riding that cool little blue chopper around, and in Sturgis. But nice guy, and he does a lot of work with my guys in Louisiana, and I mean, I probably should. Yeah, I haven't asked him, but I will. I'll make it happen. That way you can have him on your show.
Yeah, it's one of those things.
He would love to come down here, I'm sure.
That'd be dope. Maybe we should just like pull together and both pressure him to come down.
I want to go up there to his job.
Yeah, he's still up in Tennessee, right?
Yeah.
When I first got into the motorcycle industry, like he was the king. This was Jesse James the motorcycle mania had already taken place. So it was like this, all the biker build-off stuff with him and Indian Larry and even the Martin brothers here out of town. Like those guys were the kings of the shit at the time when I got into the industry. And so just all the different shows, every fucking Easy Rider it had a bike from Billy Lane in it. And so it's just kind of like part of my growing up in the motorcycle industry was watching men like him do what they did back in the day. So I don't know. There's part of me that doesn't want to attempt to have a podcast with those guys because I have an idea of them in my head of who they are. And not that I don't think they're going to be cool guys. I don't know if I'm going to be able to really
Well, I can guarantee you one thing. They've changed since then.
Oh, for sure. Like, I don't expect them to be wild like
they're not going to.
Yeah.
They're definitely going to be different than what you remember.
But
it could be disappointing.
Have you done a podcast yet with someone that you were really anxious, or not anxious, but you really wanted to do, but maybe did you ever get in your head at all and like maybe not do as good a job your questions, or it always feels like it's when it happens, it just like, fuck, I really fucked that opportunity up or something like that,
Yeah, one I recently did with the guys from Cycle Electric Charging Systems out of Dayton, Ohio.
Yeah.
The son, Nick and Carl. Dude, fucking great people. And have you looked at a charging system before? Like all the wires and the coils, everything wound up. They make all that shit. Yeah. I mean, everything from the generator. I mean, they make it all in-house. It starts off with like a block of fucking steel and then just like rolls of the fucking copper. And they have all these machines and employees and they gave me a tour. Nick, the son, gave me a tour of the place. And I'm just like, just blown away. Like I hadn't thought about, I mean, I knew that they were made in America, but I just...
Yeah, what all goes into it. Yeah.
Seeing it all, I was like, dude, these guys are fucking wizards, man. I can't talk to wizards. And one thing, I like to do podcasts with somebody like to get to know them for the first time.
Yeah.
Like somebody that I've talked to a little bit. Well, doing that one, I wanted to talk to Carl. He's the dad, and he's the one that started the company. And he was in his office busy. So I kind of like waved at him from the doorway, and they're like, yeah, Nick's going to give you a tour of the place first, and then Carl will come out and meet you in the break room and do a podcast. And, it's, okay, yeah, cool, whatever. Then he comes out and he sits down and he's like, dude, he's running into shortages. He's fucking got work to do, and this is the middle of the day. Yeah. And my buddy Gary set it up, and I didn't want to push to make it happen, but Gary was insistent, and it was just like, it made me realize like, wow, not even getting to converse with the guy a little bit made the podcast so difficult. Like I didn't know how to communicate. Now we got the microphones on. He's looking at me like I'm wasting his time, but being really nice about it. Like, you know what? Kind of, but he was cool, but it fucked me up. I was just like, God damn it, dude. Just go back to work. I'm sorry. I'll go do some more research,
Yeah. Well, like you kind of want to, I know that you we both fish in a conversation for segues or other things to talk about or bring out or relate and to make it feel more conversation and not so much interview, right? But sometimes, like, I think we were joking about it the other day on the phone. It's like sometimes you get those guys that, like, they answer the question and they stare at you. Mm-hmm. Like, okay, what's the next question? You know what I mean? And it's like, fuck, like, you're not used to that sometimes, especially, like, I have a lot of friends and we do these podcasts together, so that becomes easy because we're just shooting the shit, talking about whatever, and so I don't really have to be an interviewer or know all these different things or whatever the fuck. It's like super easy to go that direction.
I got friends too.
Oh, yeah, fucking. I guess, bro.
Yeah, well, it's definitely different when you're, talking to somebody for the first time.
When I first met, I did one with Corey and Zach Ness. I was pretty nervous doing that. I was on a bike trip, so I'm like, bike trip ones are fun, but it's always like, I got 3 podcasts to do today. So when I finish doing this podcast with this shop, after the tour, the hanging out, the before and after conversation that always takes place with a podcast, then I got to get back on the fucking road, especially in California, and make it to this other shop and do the same thing again, and then to this other shop. And with Corey and Zach Ness, like they made it super easy. Like I didn't have to do much work, and it was a great podcast and all that shit. But I had a lot of anxiety going into that situation, like hoping that this opportunity can be more opportunities of doing the podcast with them again in the future as they grow in the directions of what they're trying to build. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh yeah.
Because when you're doing a podcast, like we have to. A lot of these people have to be return guests for this thing to continue to make content, right? I mean, there's millions of people out there that we can talk to on a podcast, but you kind of need.
It's always exciting, when somebody like that you would want to have back on.
Yeah, like when you did one with Rolling Sands.
It doesn't make it difficult on you. It doesn't just stare at you.
Yeah. How was it when you did the one with Rolling Sands back in the day? I mean, y'all were heavy on the flat track thing at the time, and he was having the thing going on here in Tulsa and Austin, right, for the hand-built stuff. They still even do hand-built show anymore? Or?
They just announced that they're going to do it again this year.
Okay, that's cool.
No, that was great, dude. His office is great. The people, I respect what Roland has going on so much. Everything from just the way that he works with the brands that he works with, the products that he makes, the way that he showcases those products, the way that he involves the different racing and the way that he just leverages a bunch of people around him and brands and just fucking, has fun, or at least acts like he's having fun. And everybody around him's always having fun. Like they are genuinely enjoying what they're doing over there. Like you go in this place and they're fucking stoked, and it's really fucking cool to see. And they're capable of doing whatever they want. Like literally whatever they want to do over there, they can do. And he's got people that can help him figure out how to not just monetize it, but, leverage whatever they want to do to continue to do what they like to do. You know, it's awesome.
A couple weeks back, you had posted like one of your guests on the podcast, and you put Alex Jones on there, and I was like, no fucking way you got Alex Jones on the podcast. But I was like, and I started thinking to myself, I was like, I could see Dan pulling that off and making it happen. Like, You know what I mean? But then, of course,
You think I haven't asked Alex Jones to come on my podcast?
How many times have you asked him?
No, I haven't.
Oh, come on, man.
No.
That'd be a fun podcast. I know you like to get into all that stuff.
It would. I mean, it would be.
Yeah.
I would. I would have to. I'd have to bring in like Jake for sure.
Yeah.
I'd have to bring in some support. My support system would have to be strong if Alex Jones was in the room.
Mm-hmm. I know what you mean because I have that too. I have those guys that can kind of help me kind of navigate this situation or this conversation or whatnot. But
I wouldn't be bringing in Jake for help. I would be bringing in Jake for my personal entertainment.
Yeah.
Like, all right, now you two get after it.
Oh yeah. What was the No, but that dude Alex Jones actually did. Was he the guy that won the Hoka or
no? He broke the Cannonball motorcycle record.
Cannonball. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, riding
and
across the country.
And then he said he's like. He was done after that. He's like, I'm gonna get another hobby after this.
Yeah, he's just like, yeah, that's cool. I'm gonna do something else
awesome.
now. Super rad guy, you know. And anybody that's capable of doing that is, damn. They fucking got, they're not. They're just different kinds of people, you know. Like, you just got to be a different kind of person to fucking buy a bike off Craigslist and be like, I'm going to break a fucking world record, and just go do it and not really even say anything about it. It's kind of like Hopper. I don't think that he had a social media before he did that. And he didn't even start a social media except for his buddy was like, hey, man, you can help me make money for muscular dystrophy.
Yeah.
And he was like,
that's a good one.
Okay, and started his social media page and told people that he was going to ride 100,000 miles in 100 days instead of just doing it.
I heard it when you did the podcast with him talking about it, but I didn't realize how many people were like actively saying like it's impossible. There's no way you can do that. Kind of being negative, if you will, about the. And weren't you kind of like on the fence of like there's no fucking way you did that?
How can you think about the maintenance that you do to your bike over the course of riding your bike 100,000 miles?
I mean, I've had an M8 on my last bike, and other than like oil changes and tires, I never had to touch anything that was serious on that bike.
Brakes. I'm not talking about like motor problems. I'm just talking about things that happen. Like,
well, I mean, brakes. It depends on the type of riding you're doing. Obviously, if you're fucking trying to smash corners and mountain roads and terrain like that, then yeah, you're gonna run out of front brakes pretty quick. But if you're just like he wasn't doing those type of riding because he was trying to make time. Or miles in time so he's not going to go take PCH and be this and on the brakes.
I have a brand new motorcycle, Jace.
Yeah. Welcome to the club.
I broke shit before I hit 10,000 miles. Like, I just don't understand riding a bike 100,000 miles and being able to keep that bike on the road. I mean, I'm going to break anything, no matter what it is. Yeah. So maybe that is. It's harder for me to see because the way I ride things
require more discipline.
Yeah. So. Well, some people ride. I mean, some people it might be a weight like they're a bigger person, so that extra weight plus the braking, it's a little bit more of a load on the bike.
You trying to say I'm fat now too?
I'm saying some people,
dude.
But
hey, I think I lost a wheel bearing because of that. So.
Are these wheel bearings rated for 300 pounds or more? But no. So I think that some people just in their actual physical condition and how they ride their bike with that aspect. We got one of our good buddies. We call him Big Jetty, or we used to call him Black Jetty, but now he's just Jetty, I guess.
Why PC?
No, he's cool as shit. Just kidding. He's ginger as fuck. But he's a tall dude. He's not fat. He's just big, right? But he rides his bike fucking hard, so it tears up. You know what I mean? It's like. These bikes, a lot of these Harleys weren't designed to do that shit, and then you do it on it, and so things break, right? But if you're just smashing miles on the highway, like, you're not really changing gears a lot. You're getting to that gear, and you're sticking in it for fucking hours, if you will, So I feel like, maintenance would be an issue, but at the same time, I don't feel like it would be as much of an issue if you were city riding, going through the gears, stopping, every red light, sitting in traffic, all that shit. Like, you're just going. And you got suspension, so everything doesn't vibrate.
These are valid points.
If you're on your chopper doing it, then everything in the road is being absorbed through the frame, so things break, right?
Yeah.
Not with suspension.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is I have a brand new motorcycle, and I didn't make it to 10,000 miles, and I don't feel like it was a design flaw. I feel like I just broke some shit that 99% of people will never break.
For sure. But it's cool, man. I'm glad you did that bike. It was as a spectator, it was cool to see.
So you gonna do 100 days of insanity?
No, that's
like 10 days of insanity.
No, I don't really want to do that either. I do. I am very interested in that community though.
Yeah,
like going and kind of. I wouldn't mind doing some kind of challenges. I mean, I've done a bunch of iron butts, but never like. I've only done it once where I did all the receipts and all the stuff to turn it in.
Really?
But then I lost
so you got patch?
No, I lost the paperwork. I put it on a folder and I had everything ready to go. Everything was filled out. And then I think I was living in Red Oak and then I moved to Dallas.
Yeah, when you use a folder to take care of motorcycle trips.
So the thing was at the time, I was in my bike club days back in the day, and one of the guys in the club, we all did it together, and he actually filled all the paperwork out for us, and each one gave us a folder. So it was kind of like, it was a little bit different. It was a little bit different. But then, I've done it quite a bit of times. Like usually when I go west, I go here to Phoenix, and that's like right at 1100, like 1050 from here to Phoenix. So done that a bunch of times.
Phoenix, it's that far?
Mm-hmm. From Dallas. For me, you're 60 miles west of here. So it's a little bit less for you, but it's right at 1,000 miles.
I mean, I rode, what's that? Tucson and then Tempe. I rode Tempe to Weatherford one time in like 13 hours.
Yeah. Did you go through El Paso? Did you cut through like White Sands and Cloudcroft and all that?
No, I did El Paso, dude. I went like 120 the whole time.
For real?
Multiple times cops came up without turning their lights on out in West Texas.
Yeah.
And would just like get up close, I guess, to read the license plate. And I would have slowed down. I'd have pulled over.
Yeah.
But I wasn't going to like act like I wasn't going 120.
Yeah.
So then they would back off. And that happened twice. And then as soon as I get into the county that I live in, Parker County, I get a guy sees me from the other side of the highway. I can tell he's pulling me over, so I just get on, I just pull over immediately.
You wait for it. This is on your Softail back in the day?
Yeah, the Softail. And he gets my ID and he's like, what are you doing? Where are you coming from? I'm like, well, I come from Tempe this morning. And he's like, this morning? He just like hands me my license back. He's like, well, you'll be home in no time.
That's fucking cool.
He was just like shocked that.
I did it when I went to I went to Phoenix last March of last year. And I ended up, instead of going through El Paso, I went through Cloudcroft and down through White Sands and Las Cruces and stuff. And I thought I was going to add time. But because I was going around all the cars in their thing, and it actually shaved like 100-something miles off the trip. And, I made it in such good time. I had enough time to go get a hotel, take a shower, and then go meet people, and it was still daylight outside in Phoenix. So, and then once you get kind of out west of Las Cruces, you can pretty much open it up. You just got to watch out for the cops, watch the brake lights around corners.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even ride the highway anymore.
I'm not to that point yet, Mr. Dan.
I take 380 when I go out there.
Yeah, 380 through like Lincoln County and all that shit. Yep.
Go through the fucking aliens place. What's that?
Roswell.
So
that 380 stretch, like on the north side of like the missile base, where it's just a straight fucking flat road that going across that like valley, if you will, and then you hit 25 right there. Then you can just like hop skip like a mile or two up and then keep going. Me and Mark Matthews did that a long time ago when I first met him.
Yeah, it
was pretty wild.
That's a great way to go to California.
I haven't done a lot of the Arizona shit that you talked about a lot, like the Prescott and Jerome and like that area. And I also want to do the Bisbee situation. I've done Tombstone.
Dude, you should go to Bisbee next month.
What's there?
The Prowl, the fucking Prowl in Bisbee, Arizona. Bisbee is such a cool fucking spot too, right there by Tombstone, Naco, the border. They're gonna have a party at Naco's house right on the border, like. The fucking border wall is his backyard fence.
Serious?
It's so sick, dude. Yeah, they're throwing a party in town. I
don't know any of these people, though. I'm like, hey, guys. It's like me trying to be Michael Lichter's friend. I feel like I'm just going to fail.
Dude, I think Michael Lichter's going to go there. I told him that he needed to go there. And he's like, for a one-day event? And I'm like, it's Bisbee Air. Like, dude, you're going to have plenty. He's like, oh, you're right. Jay Allen has a place there. So, like, right next to Bisbee is like, the town that almost didn't make it because of the mine that they were building.
Yeah.
And Jay Allen owns like, I don't know, 3 old buildings just filled with cars and bikes and shit. And then there's another old motorcycle shop across the street. Some other dude who's got a bunch of rad shit. And that's like, I don't know. It's wild.
Yeah. I haven't checked it out yet, but I want to.
Go to the Prowl, dude. It used to be the Howl and Prowl. And now they're calling it just the Prowl.
I don't know. No part. Just they took something out of it besides the name.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never been.
What are you going to ride there?
I didn't say I'm going.
Yeah, I'm Dan's friend. He couldn't make it. But
Don't
he said
fucking
it'd be
tell
cool.
anybody that.
Yeah.
I didn't say that. No, Bisbee's just worth going to. It's such a cool spot.
I plan on
dude.
doing it. You know, like I said, I like doing the solo riding too now. So I feel like I can hit some of those.
The what?
Solo.
Oh, solo.
Yeah. So I feel like a lot of the Arizona stuff, you know, I want to do a lot of that. Like I want to see where this highway goes and kind of, you know, I love that desolateness that's out there. You know what I mean? But like the big trip that me and my friends do, like we are trying to, like we did Maine last year and this year we're doing Washington and all that. So we've only got 2 weeks to knock all that shit out and hit all these different spots that we're all trying to see, kind of like shoving it all in. But what I love about doing that, it kind of gives me like a quick, I'm definitely riding back here to go spend some time in that area or this area or see this, you know what I'm saying? So, because I mean, me like solo, like I can go a lot further, you know, in a day and a half than the group of.
Tell me
of
these
us.
guys slow you down?
Yeah, dude. The gas stops. No, they're good dudes, man. I mean, I've got this awesome bond with them because we've seen almost every state together. You know, in the last this will be the 4th year. So the first year we did Born Free, San Francisco down, and then last year we did the year before last we did 2020 we did Sturgis, and then Yellowstone and zigzagged all the way down through those states. And then this past year, we did Maine and all the eastern states. We do got to do a little Midwestern one, like a loop around Michigan and all that. I think we're going to do that for the hometown rally this year when they do that. But, yeah, Pacific Northwest. And then actually at that point, I'll have all my states knocked off. So,
damn. What did you go to North Dakota for?
I have not been yet, but I will be going there. I'm going to dip in there at Sturgis this year to get it off my fucking back. You know what I mean? What did you do there?
You go to Bismarck?
Have you been there? Like riding?
I had a guy on my podcast today from North Dakota, and he's got a shop there. He said it's rad. There's like a desert. You can do some off-road riding. Mm-hmm. There's Fargo. There's a skate park in Fargo. You obviously don't skate.
It's been a long time, dude. I can
you go to Canada through there.
When are you going to ride Canada?
When they let me in.
Do you think you'll be able to get in?
I supposedly if I pay a bribe to a lawyer and they do the paperwork, I can
that's
get
what
in
I was
now.
worried about too, about the whole, you know, the DWI situation about, you know, what was it, like George Bush couldn't even get in there? George W. Bush?
I don't know.
Like there was some kind of article because I was trying to go there like in 2018 for a bike show in Calgary, and I was on probation at the time for my DWI, and I actually told my probation, I was like, yeah, I'm going to go up there, and she goes, yeah, I don't think they're going to let you in. I don't give a fuck if you go, but I don't think they're going to let you in. And I didn't know anything about how anal they were with those, with anybody that's had any kind of, you know, misdemeanor. I think, is it just felonies or is it like other shit too that you know of?
Felonies and just DWI specifically. Yeah. I mean, I found out I was on tour with my band on that twin cam, and we were just close to the border. So I like roll back to the truck, and I'm like, hey, fellas, I'm going to go into Canada real quick.
Yeah.
And fucking left him. And then I look behind me, and I can see that truck speeding up to me. I'm like, what the fuck's up? And so I slow down, and they're like fucking, you know, telling me to stop, not to go into Canada. Because it's like one of those exits where it's like the sign saying, once you take this exit, you know, to Canada. Anyways, we pull over on the side of the road. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I'm like, dude, you can't go to Canada. You got a fucking gun on you. You got a DWI. They explained it to me all on the side of the road, like right before I took that exit.
Wow.
Which was good because it would
have been bad.
Yeah, I mean, I think I had drugs on me. I was probably drunk. Yeah, I thought it was a great idea.
That's awesome.
Different time.
Yeah.
But so I think it's like 10 years.
Yeah. How many more you got left, or you hit the market?
No, last year I could do it.
Oh, for real? Nice.
Yeah, and I definitely want to do it. There's a lot of shit I want to see.
There's a lot of shit. What are you more interested to see up there? More the Midwest, west part, or like the Nova Scotia and, you know, that area? Or just in general, Canada?
No, I just want to get on that plane with my motorcycle and fly to Germany.
Oh, okay.
And I want to go to Alaska.
Yeah. So you just need to get through it and use it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that there's going to be great riding up there, but like, have I looked into it? No.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not. Yeah, they won't let me in right now, so I haven't really like. But there's some things I want to do, like go to Alaska. Like I would love to like rent a bike or buy a bike to just ride up there, like the beginning of hunting season, and just leave the bike there or sell it or whatever, and then go hunt, and then fly back home.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
That'd be rad. But I also want to get my chopper and fly to Germany. Like you can fly on the same plane as your bike and get off the plane faster, and they unload your bike and you can go ride. And like how sick is that?
That's
dude?
based out of Canada, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's dope. Yeah, that's what I was always wondering, like with doing some overseas stuff, like how much of a pain in the ass would it be to use your own bike versus, you know, renting one from over there or
it'd be so much easier to rent one over there, dude.
It would.
Yeah, take some fucking spray paint, dude. Do your paint job when you get there. Like, you know, like put Vaseline on it and then paint it, and then you can wipe it off before you turn it back in.
I've done some work for some guys. Like I've done a helmet for a guy in France and a bike and a couple other things for a dude in London. I'd like to be able to get to the point where I have like relationships with some of these customers I've done work for. That way, when I go there, I'm just not like, you know, like the fucking, what was the Pulp Fiction gif? The dude's just looking around.
Yeah.
Nah, dude, I'm sure if I go to the UK, they'll fucking, you know, they'll take care of me. Go to Germany, they'll take care of me. I got a boy in fucking Australia. Remember that guy who came over and I married him and his wife?
Yeah, yeah.
I ended up sending him a front end, and, you know, it was a nice, like, original 50s or 40s front end. And he's like, what do you want for it? I'm like, I just want you to have a motorcycle on the ground when my airplane lands. He's like, when are you going to be here? I'm like, I don't know. Like, at some point, like,
building a Cadillac.
So he's like, done, dude. Fucking chopper's waiting on you. So
that's dope.
I've been making these connections from the get go because I'm going to do it. But I would love to show up, like, how sick would it be to roll up on my chopper?
Yeah,
to the fucking,
for sure.
To see the guys over at Cannonball or the WW Cycles crew. You know, I met them in Mexico at a bar in San Felipe. And, dude, that guy rode the Pan American Trail on a fucking panhead. A panhead.
How the fuck did he do that?
He went through the fucking straits, the
Bering?
The Bering Straits. Yeah, there's like videos of him with like,
how the fuck did he make
with the rope and Indians, like fucking jungle people moving him through the fucking
Can't
trees.
say jungle people, dude.
What do you call them?
I don't know.
You just call them fucking jungle people, dude. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing but like, you know, human transport and drug trafficking down there.
So that's what I was saying. Is that the big reason why it's just like the land that the world decided to let them have, like the jungle?
Well, there's
people?
just never been a great reason for somebody to pay to build a road through there.
I feel like there's probably a good reason just to get there.
What?
Get through it.
So that they can bring more people and drugs up?
Well,
everything else is hitting a boat. No, they're not trucking shit through Central America.
Okay.
You know?
That makes sense.
They're throwing it on the boat and sailing, or, you know, motorboating it up.
I don't know.
Or going down there, like whatever. Like, they're not doing it on land, you know? And those fucking drug dealers and human traffickers, I mean, they supposedly, if you do find like a good cut road, it's because the people that are using it are not going to want you on that motherfucking road.
Yeah.
You know, like,
sense.
But people have done it, dude. There's a group of Army Rangers. They went from Alaska all the way down to Tierra del Fuego on 6 KLRs. They left one in the fucking jungle. Actually, I think they left a couple in the what's it called?
Bering Strait?
No, it's not the Bering Strait. The fucking jungle down there. You just said it.
You said jungle people.
What the fuck is it called? Right there in between Panama and like,
I don't know.
Colombia. Jamie, look
Congo.
it up. Dude, you got no.
His laptop's off.
Damn it.
It's
oh, dude, now I'm getting fucking pissed. Surely somebody knows what we're talking about.
It's not connected to the Amazon, is it?
It's, dude, it's the fucking, I don't even think it says on here. Oh, you don't have service in here,
No
dude.
Man's
What
Land?
kind of fucking podcast
I got
studio
you, dude.
is this, bro? No, it's the Yeah, there's a section of jungle in between Panama and Colombia, Ecuador. You know,
Darien National Park.
the Darien Gap. That's what it's called.
Okay,
The
yeah.
Darien Gap. There's no roads through that motherfucker. But yeah, they did it on KLRs.
And it's not really that mountainous, it doesn't look like. I mean, I know there's mountains there, but it doesn't. It's just jungle.
Dude, have you know who Eric Lobos is? Mm-mm. You don't know who Eric Lobos is? Oh, dude, I just got introduced to this guy yesterday. So did you see that video I posted? There's like some dude speaking Mexican, and he's like standing next to a Pan American, and then it shows a picture of me with my paint job.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm like, I put the video up. They're like, oh, cool. What's this guy saying? And a bunch of people that know how to speak that language tell me. And he's just complimenting what Harley's done with the bike, giving us something to customize in the adventure world. And then somebody who was at Dinah Dan was like, dude, that's Eric Lobos. You don't know who Eric Lobos is? And it sends me these videos. This motherfucker has ridden around the world on this Dyna. Like, he rode across the Bering Strait while it was ice. Frozen over. He has like skis as outriggers. Dude, just rolling negative fucking 30.
Is the
It's
Bering
insane.
Strait the one in Alaska?
Yeah, the one that like goes over to fucking
To Russia?
yeah, to Russia.
Yeah, I think I called it.
And then while he's in Russia, he like hooks up with the biker gangs over there, and dude,
Were they all
this
wearing Adidas?
little
dude,
jumpsuits.
this guy is fucking out of control, man. Eric Lobos.
Ridden across the Bering Strait while it was iced over.
Yeah, the
Wow.
sea bridge or I don't even fucking know. I just started
The
watching
land
this
bridge.
thing, dude.
So he has some videos and shit up doing that?
Like full on movies. He's written books about it.
Oh, fuck.
And this is all recent,
name?
dude. Eric Lobos. Like, dude, this motherfucker.
Lobos like wolf? Lobo?
Yeah.
Eric Lobo 75.
That's dope.
I don't know. I haven't seen his. Is he got a gram? You just find him on the gram, dude?
It's not in English.
Yeah.
Eric Lobo.
That's fucking him, dude. All right, now I'm going to use your phone real quick. Look at this.
Yeah, Eric Lobo 75.
You got to see this fucking. I mean, he's got like legit videos.
He's a photographer too?
Dude, yeah.
Hell yeah.
And he gets other people to film him and take his photo. Look at that. So you can barely see the skis sticking off of the side of his bike. And then when he needs one of those skis down, he like presses it, and it's like on a bungee or like something, and he just
cool.
uses his foot to put the fucking outriggers down.
That's wild. On a Dyna.
On a fucking Dyna, dude.
That's a Dyna, bro.
Hey,
Dude, I was gonna
thank
say
you,
true
Dyna
that,
Dan, dude. Thanks for sending that to me. Yeah, I can't wait to see. I mean, I don't know what he's doing right now, but he's out there fucking
And
doing
you
it.
got, it's cool because you got to catch up with what's his actual name? The traveling chopper?
Oh, Charlie.
Charlie, yeah. Have to go overseas too, right?
I did not even know that.
Yeah. So he passed through here about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, maybe 3.
Yeah.
And I tried to catch him then, but he was already leaving town kind of situation. But yeah, the more I dive into his Instagram and all the shit he's doing.
You guys smoking here, right?
Not really.
The one I did with him like 3-4 years ago?
No, I didn't know you did. I'll go listen to it tonight.
When I was in Raton, we sat down and did one.
Oh, hell yeah.
And yeah, him and his wife rode Europe. His wife is on duty in Kuwait. She's in the military.
Okay. Yeah.
So he's just gonna go visit her.
That's cool.
He's just gonna ride his
Just ride
motorcycle over and say, "Hey, you want to have lunch?
Nice.
Would you like to stop killing bad people for a minute?"
Is it still going over there?
It says it is.
Okay, cool. All right, well, I guess that's good. What before we end up wrapping this up, man? Like, how is I still want to help you whatever way with the shop tees and all the things you got going on to help keep all the shit you're doing going. If anybody's interested,
I mean,
so.
DangerDansTalkShop.com, MCShopTees.com is the T-shirt of the month club. The only way to support every local motorcycle shop. It's like a magazine subscription, but you get a T-shirt.
Yeah.
Each month we feature a different shop from around the country. Some place that's helped me out when I broke it down on my shitty chopper. Or somebody that's just like helped out somebody else. And I've heard a cool story about them, that like they've helped somebody in a pinch. And you know, they're just good people. Like the guy I had on today from Bismarck.
Yeah.
You know, he's got a shop and it's growing. He's not even really open to the public, but I've seen him do some things, and I, you know, I respect what he's doing and him as a person.
Yeah.
So I'm featuring him, and I was like, hey, I know that you're not like open to the public, but if these motherfuckers have an MC Shop T-shirt on and they just happen to be passing through North Dakota,
Yeah.
he's like, absolutely, I'll fucking help him out. Keep
No, I
him on
like
the
that
road.
aspect
So-
of it. Like the only way you can get this shirt from this brand is through this MC Shop Tees. And it's like even a lot of the homies around here, you know, you'll see the shirts, and every once in a while at bike night there'll be like 3 or 4 of the same ones. It's kind of like a Dixie
I mean, it's a
flannel drop.
club, dude. You're in a fucking. I mean, it really
Yeah.
is a club. It's like
Yeah.
cool because when you see somebody else in that shirt, you know what level they're on. Like
Yeah.
you know they're like they probably know who Danger Dan is. You know,
Yeah.
like they've listened to the show or they're aware. I mean, you know, you got that in common.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah.
it's an icebreaker. It's I didn't realize how much of a club situation it is. Obviously, it's not like an MC club, but
Yeah.
like you know, it's pretty
It's
fucking
a way to
cool.
support a lot of different people and get something cool out of the situation and help keep you gassed up and bills paid and on the road. So that's cool. I think so.
Thank you.
I would get in it, but I'm so awkwardly shaped. I would need to try on your shirts first to see which one fit me.
Well, here's the deal. If the first one doesn't fit, you change the size and you'll get another one the next month.
I'm also the guy that's complaining about the clock on the bike on the chat room.
Yeah,
so,
you
know.
are. See, you're not even allowed in the club, dude.
Dan, thanks for coming out, man. I know you've done this. Is your
Hey,
4th podcast today?
Congratulations on what you've done with this thing. I mean, this is a really beautiful thing. I love the way that you like, you know, I called you up that one. I was like, dude, thanks for giving back to the community. Like you
Yeah.
do stuff to like bring people in and give them something to do and go out of your way to do that. And I know that like putting on the Fast Life camp out isn't like, you know,
It's not hard, but it's still a lot of work.
it's only going to grow, you know, and I suggest, I know you want it to be one thing, but let it do what it's doing, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
and like just, you know,
Just ride the wave a little bit.
yeah, just write it, you know,
Yeah.
because it's gonna anything that's what am I trying to say? Anything that's got legs, it's growing legs on its own.
Yeah.
you know, so like you can trip it, knock it over, or you can just like show the trail, you know, like whatever, you know, like you can make it better.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that, man. It's kind of all, I think it's out of all selfishness that I just want to have something cool to do too. And so it becomes a win-win. Like I want to go camping on my bike and relive those giddy up experiences and maybe just take the parts that I really found most meaningful to me and make that event happen. And that's really kind of what it was. But, you know, with the bike nights, you know, Matt, he helps out and he runs the North Texas T-Bars page. So bike nights, sometimes it's 2 of us, sometimes it's 20, sometimes it's 50. It's just there every day, right? So it gives people an opportunity to choose to be there if they want to be and stuff. And then the rest of the shit, you know, just like you do with the podcast, trying to help people find things about that's not necessarily super readily available to understand. All these people that's done badass shit like the Eric Lobos that I just found out about now. You know, it's like that's what's cool about podcasts with what yours has done. And I've said it over many times in this podcast, but if you wouldn't invited me to yours back in the day, like I never would have probably ran down the podcast rabbit hole like I did after I was on yours and started listening to yours, then started listening to Rogan. I always knew who Rogan was. I see his clips online, but never was like all right, I'm listening to this podcast. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then, you know, FXR Mike, who's a great friend of both of us, helped me get this one started just like you did. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate that. And, you know,
You guys should definitely come down to the Fandango.
I want to.
Roll
For
down
sure.
there, fucking it's the hill country, dude.
Yeah.
Lukenbach's there. The riding's fucking amazing in the spring. I mean, there's fucking people everywhere down there because the flowers are
Something to do.
fucking blooming. The roads are beautiful. We got drag racing, circle track. I'm gonna be racing that brakeless fucking bike out there on that track.
Brakes are gay.
It's gonna be fucking